Well, Seattle has a plan if there is an ice surge here, like there was in Minneapolis. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu has more.
The plan has 5 key parts, investing $4 million into pro-immigrant organizations, including Immigrant Legal Defense, urging property owners to put up signage, telling federal agents they can't come there without a warrant. It also mandates communication between Seattle police and immigration defense hotlines, and directs Seattle police officers to investigate, verify, and document immigration enforcement activity. Finally, Wilson plans to issue an executive order prohibiting federal agents from using city-owned or controlled property for civil immigration enforcement. That includes parks, lots, buildings, and more.
That plan was released by the mayor last night with input from city council members. Seattle school leaders are updating how they handle reports of immigration activity near campuses. This comes after several schools sheltered in place this month because of unconfirmed reports. The district already has strict rules if federal immigration agents ever show up at a school. Staff must meet them at the door, check credentials, and call the principal. Agents cannot enter without a valid judicial warrant verified by district legal counsel. According to the Seattle Times, the new protocols focus on what happens outside the school. Any staff member who sees or hears reports of immigration activity must call the principal right away. Hundreds of students at Spanaway Lake High School walked out yesterday protesting federal immigration agents. They pointed to the shooting deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. Students blocked traffic briefly outside the school during the march. According to the News Tribune, about a quarter of the school's students are Hispanic or Latino this year. Many say immigration enforcement affects families they know. A jury has found the city of Seattle liable for the killing of a teenager during the 2020 social justice protests.
The city was ordered to pay more than $30 million to the family of 16-year-old Antonio Mays Jr., according to the Seattle Times. The jury found the city negligent in its emergency response. Mays was shot in the Chopper, Capitol Hill occupied protest zone. The police department had abandoned its East Precinct, and medics would not enter the CHOP zone after people called 911 to report the shooting. A 14-year-old was also shot, but he survived. Frank Lindsay, KIRO Newsradio.
A city attorney's office spokesperson says, quote, Antonio Mays Jr.'s death was a tragedy. We will assess the city's options going forward. Well, the Seahawks hit the practice field yesterday for the first time since becoming NFC champs. That gives us a better idea of their overall health thanks to the daily practice report. Good news is linebacker Ernest Jones IV, who's dealing with a new chest injury, did practice. He was limited. Starting left tackle Charles Cross, who's been banged up with lower body injuries since mid-December, did not practice with a foot issue. He's also dealt with a hamstring and knee problems over the past month and a half. As for the Patriots, their injury report was a bit smaller than Seattle's, with 9 players listed compared to the Seahawks' 12. Well, we now know how Mariners fans can watch the games this season. The team announced the launch of Mariners TV, available on streaming, cable, and satellite. The streaming-only option will cost you about $100 for the season, $19.99 monthly. The Mariners will announce more specifics on cable and satellite options closer to opening day. Nothing changes on the radio, though. 710 Seattle Sports is still the flagship station. It's 5:13. That's time for a check on traffic on this early Friday morning. Good morning, Mr. Sullivan.
Good morning, Manda. We are off to a fast start today, which is great. Everything looks really good on the map. No issues, and about 35-minute trips to get to wherever you need to go. That's the travel time from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. 35 minutes as well from Federal Way to Seattle, Puyallup to Renton, 35 as well there. Renton to Bellevue, 15 minutes, maybe a little under. The lake bridges are still quiet. Olympia to Tacoma is closer to a half an hour. So all in all, we are off to a very good start on this Friday morning. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Well, your Friday, we're going to see a little bit of rain this morning, but it should taper off by afternoon. We're headed for a high 52 today. We'll see some showers tomorrow morning, but then drying out and seeing some peaks of sunshine by afternoon, 58. Back to rain at times on Sunday, and 53. Overnight lows in the mid-40s. Right now in Seattle, we have mostly cloudy skies. It's 47 degrees. Well, why is it taking so long to fix the Fairfax Bridge in Pierce County? In case you missed it, we'll have Sully's Choke Point coming up next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on most beds with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store today.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well,
I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
I'm sure by now you've heard interviews with a whole lot of people who took the First Mark Challenge and saved so much money on their insurance and got better coverage. We call them First Mark victories. Well, I too took the First Mark Challenge and am thrilled to say that First Mark is saving my family thousands. Now that's what I call a victory. Before we got married, my husband had been with the same agent for so long, I think we just assumed that they were working hard to get us the best coverage and save us money, but it wasn't the case. And we only knew that by taking the First Mark Challenge. First Mark works for you, not the insurance carriers. First Mark will fully analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage, which could leave you at risk for financial loss. Then they carefully search the market, dozens of major carriers to find you the best fit. And that's it. First Mark Insurance has helped thousands of families successfully manage the complicated world of insurance and save them thousands, my family included. Be the next First Mark Challenge victory. Take the First Mark Challenge now. It's free. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
It is 7:14 now. So when a truck hits and damages a bridge or a landslide takes out a road, those are emergencies that qualify for extra money, grants, and faster response times.
But when your bridge is shut down by neglect and a failure of lawmakers in Olympia, that's not an emergency. You're on your own. Sully is here with the story.
When a truck took out the Bullfrog overpass on westbound I-90, it took only months to get it replaced. When a truck damaged the White River Bridge, repairs only took months, and businesses in Buckley and Enumclaw qualified for emergency loans. It turns out there are emergencies, and then there are emergencies. Not all are treated the same. Ask Wilkeson Mayor Jamie Pololi. Her city's lifeline, the Fairfax Bridge over the Carbon River, which connects her town to the Mount Rainier National Park, was shut down last year, and everything stopped.
When that access disappeared, it did not create an inconvenience. It actually severed the system that sustains us. Visitor traffic stopped overnight. Businesses lost their customer base immediately. Seasonal employment disappeared. Emergency routing became constrained, and a nationally significant gateway to Mount Rainier National Park was effectively removed from the map.
But Wilkeson isn't eligible for emergency funding or expedited repairs. The reason? The closure was caused by an intentional lack of funding for maintenance and preservation that led to the steel being too bad to keep it open. For decades, that steel got worse, and the legislature failed to fund the work. The bridge was load restricted 3 times before they finally had to close it last April. It turns out that willful neglect is not an emergency. There are no grants coming for the businesses to stay open. There is no fast-tracking work to repair or replace the bridge. Mayor Paloli went to the legislature this week to highlight the absurdity.
What Wilkinson is facing is not routine infrastructure failure. It is a systematic gap. That state has no emergency designation pathway for long neglected infrastructure, no stabilization mechanism when access is severed, and no coordinated economic mitigation framework for a gateway community.
And while the Department of Transportation moved quickly to fix the Bullfrog Overpass and the White River Bridge, it could be 6 years before the Fairfax Bridge is rebuilt, if it's rebuilt at all. There are 2 options on the table, only 2. Spend at least $160 million to build a new bridge just north of the existing one, or simply remove the damaged bridge and leave the community with nothing. WashDOT's Steve Rourke explained the realities to the mayor and legislature this week.
Since it's not a repair, like an emergency slide or something like that, and it's a new bridge on a new alignment, there's no contract to let. There's no advantage at this point to declaring an emergency.
No way to speed up 18 months of study, another 2 years of environmental and engineering work, and another 2+ years of construction. And meanwhile, Wilkinson and other small communities along the corridor are left to fend for themselves. And considering how many state bridges are in bad shape after years of willful neglect, Mayor Paloli had this to say.
We're not asking for special treatment. We are asking for the level of response that this situation warrants. One that restores access, protects public safety, and recognizes that communities cannot be left to absorb the consequences of state-owned infrastructure failure alone. Wilkinson is not the exception. Wilkinson is the warning.
There are several bills before the legislature to help out these communities. One would allow WashDOT to waive some red tape to maybe get at this faster. The other would eliminate business and occupation taxes and eliminate property taxes in the affected area this year. But it looks like relief will not be coming anytime soon.
What the heck are we thinking in this? I know this isn't commentary time. What are we thinking by not doing this preventative maintenance? We know we're going to get hosed. Little communities like Wilkinson are paying the price. And what happens when it's a bigger community, or if you're listening right now, the community where you live? We're just ignoring this, and there are absolutely going to be problems in the future.
Yeah, and again, it's something that the legislature has chosen to do over the last 20 or 30 years. Fund new things, fund pet projects, and not take care of maintenance and preservation. What's ironic, if a truck had taken out the Fairfax Bridge, this would be an emergency. But the legislature failing to pay for upkeep, that's not an emergency. The result's the same. They don't have a bridge, but the community is left with nothing.
Do we have any idea how much it would cost to fix it or replace it?
Well, right now they have $160 million is the estimate for the new bridge, just north of where it is.
That seems cheap to me.
Well, again, that's the initial estimate. That generally would go up. And again, the other option is just to do nothing, tear down the old one, which is weird because it's on the National Historic Registry.
It's a beautiful old bridge.
Yeah, it is. But it's just, again, we've spent 30 years prioritizing other things in Olympia, and the chickens are coming home to roost. It's this community this week. Who is it next?
What's the workaround here in terms of detours and how people are getting around?
Well, there is an emergency locals-only gated area that allows deliveries and people to get across that area, but it's locked. The gate is locked, and there's really no access to get up into Mowich Lake or into that part of Rainier, and so everybody who would normally be going there just aren't. So for the locals, there is a little workaround, but it's a one-lane road that barely fits one car in one direction, and they were able to get some emergency money to beef that up, but nothing for the grand scheme of things.
Wow. All right. You have more on My Northwest?
Yeah. The irony is pretty obvious here.
It's 5:24. Quick check on our KIRO Newsradio forecast. We're going to see rain at times this morning. Should taper off for the afternoon. 52 our high. Showers in the morning tomorrow, but some sunshine by afternoon. More rainy on Sunday. Right now, it's 47 in Seattle. And coming up, a former CNN anchor under arrest. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson lays out her plan to deal with ICE. And KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden as your weekend planner. That's on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, you're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh, my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer zero down, zero interest, and zero payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
Save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Confidence with winter driving starts at Subaru of Puyallup. Find stress-free pricing and a stress-free experience at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It is 5:31. New this morning, we're just learning former CNN anchor Don Lemon was arrested last night. Multiple sources say a grand jury was impaneled on this yesterday. The FBI and Homeland Security investigations were involved in the arrest. It's not clear what the charges may be, but multiple reports say the arrest stems from an anti-immigration protest that interrupted church services in Minneapolis. Multiple others have been charged in that incident. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson has announced how she wants the city to deal with federal immigration authorities.
Wilson is directing Seattle police to verify reports of immigration enforcement activity and to document it with in-car and body-worn video.
I understand the anxiety that a lot of folks, especially in our immigrant communities, are feeling right now. And at the city, we're going to do everything we can to keep people safe.
The plan bars federal agents from using city-owned property for civil immigration enforcement. City plans to invest $4 million in community and legal support for immigrant families. Wilson says at this point, there is no sign of a sudden surge in ICE or Border Patrol activity. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The city of Seattle has been found negligent in the 2020 CHOP shooting death of 16-year-old Antonio Mays Jr. The Seattle Times reports the city must pay more than $30 million to Mays' family. According to the Post-Millennial, a jury ruled the city created a dangerous situation by abandoning the East Precinct. Mays Jr. was shot inside the protest zone, and police didn't reach the scene for 5 hours. No arrests were ever made. Costco is facing a class action lawsuit over its $5 rotisserie chicken. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon reports 2 customers in California accused the Issaquah-based company of falsely advertising the chicken has no preservatives.
They also say that Costco misled millions of shoppers because there's sodium phosphate in the chicken. Sodium phosphate is commonly used to extend shelf life. The customers are seeking unspecified monetary damages.
In a statement, Costco says it's removed any labeling about preservatives. It also says those ingredients are federally approved and used to keep the chickens fresh. If you drive an electric vehicle, you should have an easier time charging across Washington soon. The state just announced $12 million for new electric vehicle stations. Officials say the money helps finish the highway charging network. The plan adds 14 locations with 96 ports on I-90 and other key highways. 5 companies won the grants and will handle installation and upkeep. The Seattle Times reports the state expects the work to wrap up within 2 years. 5:33. While we're talking about cars, let's check the drive on this Friday morning. Sully, what's up?
Well, so far, so good. There aren't many cars out there, which is great, which means we're all green on the map and the travel times are great. 35 minutes out of the Everett area to go to Seattle or Bellevue, and we don't really have any slowing yet through the forced merge at Northgate. Looking at northbound I-5, Federal Way to Seattle, only 35 minutes there as well. Valley Freeway is under 40. We do have a little braking as you approach 405 in Renton. That's primarily just there in the ramp meters. And then Renton to Bellevue is under 15. Lake bridges are quiet. Olympia to Tacoma has no issues. 30 minutes for you guys. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, the rain will taper off throughout the day. 52 the high today. Tomorrow, look for showers early on, but partly cloudy for the afternoon. We'll see a little bit of sunshine. 58 tomorrow. The rain is back on Sunday with a high of 53. It is cloudy and 47 in Seattle right now.
your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
It's 5:35 on your Friday morning, the weekend just about here. And if you're looking for something fun to do, KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden has you covered.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
As everyone waits as patiently as they can for next weekend's big game for the Seattle Seahawks, why not pass the time with some other awesome events in our region this weekend? We are still in the middle of winter and you might be in the need of something to warm you up. Well, the Soup-pocalypse is here and taking over Fremont. There will be 16 restaurants serving up soups, chowders, and stews throughout the neighborhood for Fremont Soup-pocalypse. Each stop you make will get you a stamp in your soup passport. Collect 8 stamps and you can earn Super Soup swag at Triangle Spirits. The Soup-pocalypse is already underway and runs through the weekend. Check out the Soup-pocalypse website for the full list. Saturday at the Wing Luke Museum is the Lunar New Year Family Fair. It's a day full of fun that starts with a free outdoor lion dance and speaking program at 10 a.m. And following, there are a variety of games, crafts, and a zodiac animal scavenger hunt inside the museum. You'll need to reserve a ticket to get into the museum, so visit the Wing Luke Museum website for more details. Have you been waiting for the right time to get your next or first tattoo? Then you'll want to head to the Greater Tacoma Convention Center and Trade Center for the Tacoma Tattoo Expo. There will be hundreds of artists who will be available to give you your dream tattoo. You'll also see belly dances, aerialists, and a roaming circus act to bring the fun. Artists will be also competing for prizes live at the event, so you can see some of the best in the business create something special. The Tacoma Tattoo Expo runs through the weekend. You can get ready for the summer with a few shows this weekend. Get ready to hit the water and learn about the latest and greatest in the world of boating at the Seattle Boat Show. There will be hundreds of boats and watercraft to check out at Lumen Field throughout the weekend and all next week. At the Washington State Fair Events Center, you can gear up for your next camping trip at the Washington Sportsman Show. There will be seminars to learn and prepare for your next big trip and plenty of vendors to stock up so you can hit the trails no matter what the PNW throws at you. The Washington Sportsman Show runs through the weekend. Also at the Seattle Convention Center, plan for your big day at the Seattle Wedding Show, which runs through the weekend. And finally, down in Tacoma, you can get your garden spring ready thanks to the Tacoma Home and Garden Show. If you're looking for ideas, there will be seminars as well as expert vendors who can help you build the exact space you're looking for. The Tacoma Home and Garden Show runs through the weekend. While you wait for the Seahawks, there is one big game you can catch to scratch that sports itch this weekend. The Seattle Thunderbirds are taking on the Everett Silvertips for the Battle of the Sound at Climate Pledge on Saturday with puck drop at 6:05. Tickets are still available. Now, if you're up for a bit of an adventure this weekend at the Cowlitz County Fairgrounds, it's time to celebrate everyone's favorite mascot of the Pacific Northwest, Sasquatch. Squatch Fest will have speakers who will teach you everything you need to know about the cryptid. There will also be a Sasquatch calling contest, arts and crafts for the kids, plus local beer, wine, and cider to enjoy. Squatch Fest is Saturday and Sunday. The first month of the year is already in the rearview mirror. What are you looking forward to in February? Let me know. Paul H. at KIRORadio.com. Paul Holden, KIRO News Radio.
Well, the First Lady had her close-up in New York last night, as we hear from CBS's Deborah Rodriguez.
Melania Trump, accompanied by her husband, the president, walked the charcoal carpet at the premiere of her new documentary, Melania.
This is a very special evening. An incredible, historic moment.
Her production company made a $40 million deal with Amazon MGM Studios to produce it, and Amazon spent a reported $75 million to promote it. The director, Rush Hour series Brett Ratner. It was his first film since he was accused of sexual assault and harassment in 2017. He denies the allegations. Some accuse Amazon's Jeff Bezos of using the documentary to curry favor with the president. The movie opens in theaters today. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
It's 5:39. National headlines on the way. You are listening to KIRO News Radio.
Does my voice sound pretty good?
Better than I thought it would.
The John Curley Show.
I was really trying to work with my diaphragm.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I was screaming as everybody else was screaming, and all of a sudden the muscles in my neck tightened up and it shut off blood in my head. I thought I almost passed out. I was so close.
What if you died?
Well, I would have been paying no attention to me. Like, get up, Dad.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
That's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
For more than 75 years, the VA Home Loan Benefit has helped millions of eligible veterans and service members achieve their piece of the American dream, a home for their families. Did you know that you could purchase a home or refinance your current home loan with your VA Home Loan Benefit? VA home loans have lower closing costs and generally enjoy lower interest rates than other borrowers. The VA home loan may save you thousands of dollars on your mortgage. For more information, visit www.va.gov or talk to a lender of your choice. Choose VA.
Veterans, the new year's a good time to re-examine finances. If you're struggling with bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says he may have a solution.
Many veterans are sitting on a lot of home equity, and even with a low mortgage rate, your total monthly payments may be a struggle. The good news is with today's lower VA loan rates, you can do a VA cash-out refinance and pay off your high-interest rate debt and roll everything into one low monthly payment. For example, one VA client saved more than $1,200 per month. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. Whether you're a veteran or seeking a conventional loan, you'll talk directly to me or an experienced senior advisor, never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust. From Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. 425-649-6000.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well,
I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
CBS News Brief. The Senate reached a deal to fund the government past midnight tonight and continue ICE reform talks, but adjourned without voting on it. South Carolina Republican Lindsey Graham.
I'm willing to entertain some reforms to make sure that we rein in ICE appropriately and make it more professional.
The second winter storm in a week is set to slam the southeast. CBS meteorologist Nikki Nolan.
The beaches could actually be coated with upwards of 6 to 10 inches and maybe even upwards of 16 inches in some inland areas of the Carolinas.
Temperatures could dip into the teens. Power is still out to 85,000 people in Mississippi. A rough day for a world-class alpine skier.
Good technical, strong turns from Vaughn.
Lindsey Vonn lost control and crashed in her final downhill race before the Winter Olympics in Milan next week. No word on whether she'll be sidelined at the Games. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
And a quick check on our forecast. More rain this morning. Should taper off by afternoon, though. 52 our high. Tomorrow looks pretty nice by afternoon. Some sunshine, but the rain returns on Sunday. It's 47 in Seattle right now, and a legislative update from Paul Query, publisher of the Washington Observer, coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Our First Mark Challenge victory is Aaron McCoy from McCoy Home Solutions, yet another small business owner that took the First Mark Insurance Challenge. Aaron, why did you make the call to First Mark Insurance?
My company has grown to a space where we need a higher level of coverage. A couple of factors led me to say, boy, I really need to find something new, and First Mark really rang that bell.
First Mark save you and your business money?
Oh, yeah. They have decreased overall expense in a couple categories by up to 30%, coverage in a couple of areas by greater than 50%. They've offered coverage in 2 new categories that I think are pertinent for my business, and they've greatly impacted what that coverage and those margins look like.
Kind of wish you made the call earlier.
I absolutely do. Yeah.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
What a good move I made. Let me tell you a quick story. I've done a whole bunch of races and a bunch of other stuff like that, and my left hip started bothering me about 5 years ago. And I go to the doctor, and he's like, you need a hip replacement. I was like, I'm 60. Yeah, we're going to ask you to wait a little while because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to go into the grave at the same time. I said, what do you do about all this pain? Well, you could, aspirin, and you could continue to do this and that and, sleep with a pillow between your legs. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Then I was talking to Bob Stelton over there at the sports department. So he went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I think he had his hip done as well. So I go in there. I said, hey, Dr. Wagner, can you fix my hip? Takes a look at the MRI. Yes. So I got the stem cell procedure. I'm telling you something. This is the best. If you've been thinking about, surgery for your knee, your wrist, your shoulder, or hip, no. Check out Dr. Mark Wagner and go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Let's head over to Paul Query from the Washington Observer on Substack. He is the editor and publisher of that publication.
Great to have you, Paul. Let's start with the income tax proposal. What did you think of the draft when you read it?
Well, I mean, the interesting thing about that income tax proposal is that technically it's a tax on everyone, even though it's played as millionaire tax. There's just a big exemption in there for everyone, for the first $1 million of your income. So it wouldn't be rocket science to change that bill to cover, much larger number of people.
By lowering the threshold, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Paul, one thing I was curious about, and kind of the reason when that was leaked to me, I felt it was important to get out in front of people, is that so many of these bills are conducted and drafted behind closed doors. You've been on both sides of this equation. A bill like this, what is going on in terms of the negotiations and the preparation?
Yeah, I mean, basically, you're looking to sort of workshop the bill with, what are called stakeholders, which are mostly, lobbyists, people who are interested in getting the bill passed, people who might bring significant resources to a campaign to sustain this at the ballot box, so on and so forth. And you kind of want to get as many of those folks on board before you actually introduce the bill.
So can I underline that? Can I underline that, Paul? Lobbyists see this before the public sees this.
I think you could say that. That draft was passed to me as well. So I think it was handed around to a large number of people just to get kind of feedback before they decided to put it in the hopper. And we've seen this historically with a lot of tax bills. Folks are reluctant to introduce them, to vote for them, even to hold hearings on them, because that creates a record that might make you vulnerable in the next election. Drafts of tax bills getting passed around before they actually get filed are, that's not a new thing.
Can you talk to me a little more about what critics are calling the jock tax? How would this work?
So basically, and this is how it works in most states that have an income tax. If you're a professional athlete and you're playing in, let's just say, California or Oregon, typically you owe income tax in that state for the amount of time that you spent there to play the game. And, not too surprisingly, those folks are going to get raked in here.
So big picture here, the state constitution says there's no income tax, and it sounds like we're going to have an income tax. What kind of pushback can lawmakers expect on this bill?
Well, I think you'll see tremendous unified pushback from the Republican minority, which means that the bill will move as slowly as the Republicans can make it move. So you'll see a lot of, probably some all-night debate and, really extended committee hearings in which there are tremendous numbers of amendments. But ultimately, I don't think that we would see this proposal unless the Democratic majority had the votes to pass it. So, I think that it's likely to go forward. There's definitely going to be broad pushback. It's aimed kind of specifically at the higher end of the tech community. And, obviously there are folks who in that world who consider it to be kind of a job killer, and would encourage our, major tech companies to locate their jobs elsewhere.
Charlie, you did your commentary this morning on Senate Bill 5312. You want to talk more about that?
Yeah, and I'm curious if you are familiar with this. This is the one that was proposed by Senator Wellman last year, which would reduce the penalties for people convicted in net nanny operations where it was a cop they solicited sex from instead of a child. I was just, first of all, surprised to see that it still had a pulse, Paul, and that it's been reintroduced this session. I can't imagine it's going anywhere, but I'm also surprised, based on the blowback last year, that Senator Wellman didn't pull this bill.
Well, I think that it's relatively uncommon for lawmakers to actually pull things. That's not a thing I've really seen. That bill didn't clear committee last year, and I don't even think it got a hearing this year. So, we would kind of expect it to die in the normal course of the process. The sort of next deadline for that is next week. So, I'd be surprised to see that bill pick up any momentum, as you note. That's a hot button subject.
Speaking of hot button subjects, the hot one yesterday was the Senate voting on this bill that would ban face coverings for law enforcement in the state. It passed. What are the arguments on both sides?
Well, there's, obviously this stems from the Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers that we've seen in the news, all over the country. It's common for them to wear face coverings, which they were told to prevent being doxxed and being sort of harassed for their work. So the bill that passed yesterday would ban law enforcement officers from, in general, from wearing that kind of mask in Washington. It was a contentious debate. It's not clear that federal law enforcement officers are going to smack themselves in the forehead and change their practices because of Washington law. In fact, this law is probably going to apply more to local law enforcement officers in Washington state. And there's, some degree of controversy there. You have the Pierce County Sheriff, who's a controversial figure in and of himself, saying that if the bill passed, that he would basically order his officers to wear face coverings in a kind of protest. Paul, again, it's a pretty hot issue.
Paul, you've been doing this for a while, both as a journalist, but also a practitioner of the dark art of PR and lobbying. I'm just curious, what is the smart person watching for in the coming week in the state legislature between when we're talking now and when we talk again next week?
Next week is the policy cutoff for for bills to clear their first committee. And the most interesting thing for us is sort of what lives and dies at those key deadlines. And we're keeping a kind of a sharp eye on that stuff. But we're also seeing stuff move that has not moved in the past. So, for example, I know that you did a segment earlier on about the lowering the blood alcohol content for impaired driving. And, that bill has languished without a vote in the Senate for years, and it passed yesterday. So,
Paul Query. This is going to be an interesting week in front of us. It's a short 60-day session, and you're writing all about it on the Washington Observer on Substack. Paul, thanks for your time this morning.
It's great to be with you.
Our forecast on your Friday as you get ready for the weekend. We're seeing some rain this morning. Should taper off for the afternoon hours and be just mostly cloudy. Warming up to 52 for today. Tomorrow, look for showers early on and then some sunshine by afternoon. Not a bad day at all. Warm, 58 tomorrow. Sunday looks like the rain will be back at times, 53. Overnight lows all 3 days in the mid-40s. It's 47 in Seattle right now, and coming up, KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey on the massive amount owed by the city of Seattle to a family over a protest-related shooting in 2020. Also, CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace breaks down the deal to fund the government, possibly a vote today. We'll get more on that coming up here on Seattle's Morning News. This is KIRO News Radio.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
KIRO News Radio congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
The modern-day Bambino, Cal Raleigh.
We can't wait. From KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
A new year means more than just a clean calendar. It's new goals, opportunities, and fresh momentum for your business. Are you with the right bank to set you up for success? WaFd Bank has you covered with free business checking, credit cards, lines of credit, and other services to move your business forward. WaFd offers the latest in payment processing and cash flow tools for just the right fit to meet your goals. Plus, WaFd Bank is an SBA preferred lender. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit WaFdBank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Loan subject to credit approval. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional.
If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump has unveiled his pick to replace Jerome Powell as Federal Reserve Chair. The name, Kevin Warsh, a former Federal Reserve governor.
Warsh has been echoing the president's calls for lower interest rates. Bankrate economic analyst Sarah Foster says if Warsh is confirmed as chair, he would still only be one vote.
He's probably going to need to bring very convincing evidence if he's going to get officials to step off the sidelines.
Foster says current chair Jerome Powell has fought hard to keep the Fed out of politics.
A lot of lawmakers and markets are going to need whoever Trump nominates to really prove to them that he will remain politically independent.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Powell's term expires in May. We've just gotten word the FBI is taking over the investigation into ICU nurse Alex Pretty's shooting death by federal agents in Minneapolis. We've also learned Don Lemon is under arrest after he entered a Minnesota church and recorded anti-ICE protesters who disrupted the service. His attorney says the former CNN host was taken into custody by federal agents in L.A. He was there covering the Grammy Awards. Parts of the Southeast still struggling to recover from last weekend's crippling winter storm are bracing for another. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
Winter weather alerts cover hundreds of miles across the lower mid-Atlantic states, currently from north sections of Georgia into the eastern parts of Tennessee and Kentucky on up into West Virginia. It also includes some midsections of Virginia.
Tens of thousands of people in Mississippi still have no power. The Northeast Electric Power Association's Keith Hayward.
The roads were completely locked up, very, very dangerous. Trees across the roads that we could not get through to even get to some of our customers.
The main border crossing between Gaza and Egypt will reopen Sunday after a 2-year closure. Linda Gradstein reports from Jerusalem.
The reopening of the Rafah border crossing is part of the U.S. brokered ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas in Gaza and comes after Hamas returned the body of the last remaining Israeli hostage. Israel will supervise the exit of Gazans to Egypt remotely, but Palestinians who want to enter Gaza from Egypt will have to be screened by Israel at an Israeli-run checkpoint.
Alpine skiing star Lindsey Vonn has spoken about competing at the ripe young age of 41.
I'm physically in possibly the best shape I've ever been in, which is fun.
It was no fun today when she crashed in her final downhill race in Switzerland before next week's Winter Olympics in Italy. Vonn was airlifted for medical checks. The CEO of the International Ski and Snowboard Federation says she hurt her left knee. She has a partial implant in her right. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
6:03 Friday morning. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
And it looks like we might have a crash to deal with on the Ship Canal Bridge on southbound I-5, just south of 45th. So plan on a little bit of a delay there. That's the one little spot of red on our entire map as we start this Fast Friday. We're looking at about 35 minutes from, make it 40 from Everett down into Seattle, 35 from Everett into Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle's only 35 minutes. No problems for you guys. Renton to Bellevue running right around 15. The Lake bridges are quiet as we start the day. Looking at 35 minutes from Puyallup to Renton and under 35 to go from Olympia to Tacoma. This report brought to you by Subaru Puyallup. Confident winter driving starts at Subaru Puyallup. Stress-free pricing, SubaruPuyallup.com. Stress-free buying at Subaru Puyallup. your stress-free dealership.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. The city of Seattle has been ordered to pay more than $30 million after a jury found it liable in the killing of 16-year-old Antonio Mays Jr. in 2020.
He was shot in the so-called CHOP zone in 2020. And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with the update.
And May's father spoke with KIRO 7 TV after that verdict.
To know my son and to know that he was strong, proud, black, positive, and big-hearted, kind-hearted, and hard-working, that's the kind of, memory that should resonate when they think about my son. Somebody that when you see him coming, he cares about you.
After Mays was shot in the CHOP zone and witnesses called 911, paramedics refused to enter the area. After deliberating for 12 days, the jury in the case found the city was negligent in its emergency response. The shooting happened after the city had also abandoned its East Precinct. A spokesperson for the city attorney's office says they consider May's death to be tragic, and they will assess the city's options going forward. That would include possibly appealing that $30 million awarded by the jury.
Thank you, Luke. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson has announced she wants the city to deal with federal immigration authorities.
Wilson is directing Seattle police to verify reports of immigration enforcement activity and to document it with in-car and body-worn video.
I understand the anxiety that a lot of folks, especially in our immigrant communities, are feeling right now. And at the city, we're going to do everything we can to keep people safe.
The plan bars federal agents from using city-owned property for civil immigration enforcement. City plans to invest $4 million in community and legal support for immigrant families. Wilson says at this point there is no sign of a sudden surge in ICE or Border Patrol activity. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Well, they're calling it a shutdown. Today, activists and even some local celebrities like Macklemore are asking people to stay home from work and withhold spending. They say it's an act of protest against federal immigration crackdowns.
A shift in how King County counts its homeless population is drawing criticism. Instead of a one-night visual count, the King County Regional Homelessness Authority is now asking people to voluntarily report their homelessness over 2 weeks. In exchange, they get a $25 gift card. Andrea Suarez with the nonprofit group We Heart Seattle tells John Curley she's not comfortable with this new method.
They are not required to provide a social security number or ID, so it is subject to some integrity issues.
Homelessness authorities say the new method can help surveyors get more information about why people don't have homes, as well as an accurate count. King County's annual point-in-time count is going on now through February 6th.
Washington is a step closer to a tougher DUI standard. Senate Bill 5067, which would lower the blood alcohol limit from 0.08 to 0.05, passed the Senate this week. Democrat John Lovick is the prime sponsor.
This legislation is about community safety. And it's about changing the culture of driving in our state.
Republican Jeff Holey, who, like Lovick, used to be a police officer, voted no.
My argument with this bill is we're at the point of diminishing returns, and we are addressing people that are not impaired.
And the measure now moves on to the House.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, good morning. It's coming up on 6:08, and I don't know about you, Amanda, but I woke up this morning, this Blue Friday. I'm like, yeah. I'm ready for the Super Bowl.
Isn't it this Sunday?
No, it's not.
Darn it.
We still have 9 days to go. I'm sorry.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that is going to be a great game. Just a moment, we're going to have some sound from Seahawks GM John Schneider. I think a lot of us are just gearing up and ready to go.
Yep, getting the menu all set. Chris Sullivan is here checking traffic on your Friday morning. How's Friday so far for you?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Good.
Is it Friday light or?
Yes, we do have one little issue on the Ship Canal Bridge, which of course is not a good spot to have something. But yeah, we're doing okay.
Okay, we have producer David Burbank in the studio with us. And look at Nick in the control room, Amanda. He is
can't
all
see him because
decked
the
out.
lights are off.
Oh yeah. Well, he's got not only a Seahawks cap but also a Seahawks hoodie.
Oh, nice.
I'm logoed out right now.
Okay, yeah.
Excellent. Hawked up.
There we go. Jillian Rattery is out in the newsroom, keeping on top of the day's top stories. And, of course, Luke Ducey is going to have some more. He has an interview with Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson about the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So that's coming up at the bottom of the hour.
Look forward to that. This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
And CBS correspondent Michael Wallace will join us in a few minutes to break down the deal being worked on in the Senate to avoid a government shutdown.
Also, KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden will have your weekend planner.
It is 6:09. 9 days to go before the Seahawks face the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Again, you're sure it's not this Sunday?
9 days, Manda.
Seahawks GM John Schneider says the Pats will be tough competition.
Josh is calling plays. They're like a chameleon offensively. That's similar with all the different personnel groups and everything. But no, this is a team that their defensive front's awesome. Their DBs are awesome. Damn good linebackers. Two highly explosive runners. They have like four really good receivers. The quarterback can score from anywhere on the field. Big, good athlete that can, So, I'm not saying Tom Brady can't score from anywhere on the field. This guy can. When he can throw it, he can freaking take off. So my point is, we started today with the presentation to the players, Mike and his coaching staff, what they look like and what we're up against.
Schneider tells the Wyman and Bob show on 710 Seattle Sports they are focused.
The thing I'll say is that the guys are. Everybody did such a great job, Chuck and his staff, and then, Billy Nays and Sarah and Jeremy Young, just getting everything all set before the weekend. And then, if we win this game, bam, here go the emails and this is what it's going to look like. And then all the Zoom calls on Monday and getting everything all set so that, all the family distractions it's real,
Yeah.
The outside noise and the distractions can be put aside so that we're getting a lot of great work done this week. And then, you get on that plane, you go down there, we have this stuff on Monday and then they can focus on the game the rest of the week.
And he was asked about Mike McDonald's comments after winning the NFC Championship Sunday night. Let's just play that for you one more time.
I'm speechless. I'll tell you what. This is the power of 12 as one, man. This is a heck of a job. When you do it together, this is what you can do. How about the 12s?
Now, coming into the season, you were an afterthought to the Rams, to the 49ers. How did it feel to go through both of those teams to earn your trip to the Super Bowl?
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Schneider says he loved that. One second here. I got to skip ahead. He loved that.
It's just all about us. We haven't, there's the advanced guys and everybody in analytics and the coaches do a great job of preparing for what our opponent's going to look like. But it's truly about again, Mike's done a great job of just keeping it about us. It's how we operate. If you can limit those self-inflicted wounds, then, we should have a chance. And that's held up all season.
He says the Seahawks are a team full of dogs. DAWGS. So what is a dog?
Yeah, I think it's that player that, could play, play in a parking lot or, play in a beautiful stadium, Doesn't matter where you're playing. He's just going to kick your ass.
Ooh, can he say that on the radio? Well, yes, he can because he's John Schneider.
He's John Schneider.
Yeah, be sure to tune in to Steve Rabel for the Super Bowl call right here on KIRO News Radio. Just curious, how many We Did Not Care T-shirts have you seen so far?
They are everywhere. Yeah, instant classic with that one. Okay, it's 6:12. Speaking of dogs, let's check in with
the top
Nick
dog,
Allard.
Weather dog.
Brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning. Right now, it's kind of like some mist and some drizzle out there. It really isn't that wet, but I'll tell you, I needed the windshield wipers on the way in this morning because we just had drizzle and mist. It wasn't like I had any rain on the radar, and I didn't. But just know there could be a little bit of mist, there could be a little drizzle to start the day, and then we'll see rain increasing. So then it will get even wetter, especially by about 9 to 10 a.m. Rain is going to pick up again, and that will stick around until about mid to to late afternoon, and then we'll see it taper all to showers. So you have rain coming in, yes, but you also will see it taper off. Highs are interesting today because we're in the 40s and 50s now, and I expect you'll go from the 40s and 50s into the low to mid 50s, and even a place like Bellingham is at 59 because of the clouds and breezy weather. Speaking of breezy conditions, you'll find a few breezy spots, especially say like the north interior and out to the coast, but most of us just a little bit gusty with that rain for a few hours and then tapering off. Now, tomorrow, you have just some brief rain in the morning, and it's only from like 7 to noon, and it's very isolated. It's not going to be that wet, not going to be a big deal. After that, I think you're just seeing dry weather with sun breaks for the rest of the day, and you absolutely will see a nice day in the upper 50s. I mean, it's going to be mild, but we do see some showers returning on Sunday. So Sunday's the wetter of the 2 days. Next 10 days, I don't see really anything but just warm weather. That's it. Warm weather, mainly dry for a while, and no changes anytime soon.
All right. Well, thank you, Nick. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 46 degrees.
6:14. Let's check the drive. We do that every 10 minutes. So what's new, Sully?
Nothing. I'm just thinking golf.
I know,
golf. I'm distracted by that, by his forecast. Looking at the drive now, we've already got a 4-mile backup on southbound I-5 trying to get through Northgate down into the U District. We have a crash on the Ship Canal Bridge in the left-hand lane, which has caused this. We're already up to 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle, 30 out of Linwood, so we're behind schedule by about 15 minutes. That's our one spot. We haven't really even started to see things go bad on 405 as of yet, so it's still only 35 minutes from Everett down into Bellevue. Northbound I-5, Federal Way to Seattle is only running right around 35 minutes. Valley Freeway, same, 35 to 40. Renton to Bellevue is only about 15 minutes, so we're doing really well there, and the lake bridges are quiet. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial 97.3 HD2.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Thanks for being here with us on this Friday morning. Something you don't hear often. Senate Democrats working with President Trump.
That was the headline as a last-minute deal was reportedly reached yesterday between the president and Democratic lawmakers to fund the government. With the deadline to avert a shutdown at midnight tonight, now that deal is halted in the Senate, anticipating a final vote today.
And we are awaiting the official announcement, not just the social media announcement from President Trump on who he intends to nominate as the new Federal Reserve Chair.
Lots to talk about with CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace. Michael, let's start with the budget deal. Can you break down all the points included for us?
Yeah, so essentially it would have been a partial government shutdown, could still be actually. There were 6 spending bills for various agencies that they were looking at. One of them was for the Department of Homeland Security. Democrats didn't want to pass that one because they're not happy with DHS and the way these immigration crackdowns are going. So with this deal with the White House, the 5 other spending bills will still all be included. They've come up with a continuing resolution that will fund DHS for 2 weeks while Democrats work on some more reforms on how those immigration crackdowns are going. Things like they want an end to roving patrols. They want to force federal agents to stop wearing masks and wear body cameras. They want to change some of the use of force policies. So this continuing resolution will give Democrats a couple of weeks to come up with some of those reforms, and then they can vote on a longer range Homeland Security package. But for the other agencies, this should be a done deal, assuming that the Senate signs it sometime today. And the other tentacle here is the House actually doesn't come back to Washington until Monday. So technically, we may kind of sort of have a partial government shutdown over the weekend, but the House comes back Monday and should sign it and approve it then.
So, Michael, we know that the Democrats want more regulations for ICE and Border Patrol, but what is the president saying about that?
You know, the president, of course, isn't happy with some of that, but he's okay with this 2-week resolution to at least get some DHS, funded for another 2 weeks anyway. So that's why he supports this overall deal with all the 6 agencies involved. He says, pass this thing, and then we can fight about some of this DHS stuff later. Obviously, he's not happy with some of these reforms that Democrats are calling for, but in the short term, at least, we keep the government open. And after that last government shutdown late last year, there's little appetite for a shutdown again on Capitol Hill. So everybody's, hoping to get this pushed forward.
Would a partial shutdown over the weekend, would anybody even notice? Would that affect people?
Probably, yeah, Amanda, probably not. It would be, so short and really wouldn't affect much. Much of the government's closed over the weekend. So the key would be Monday when the House comes back. And, it's not a done deal in the House. It's not a slam dunk. House Republicans have scheduled a conference call for a little less than 2 hours from now, so they're going to talk about this. Is the 2-week continuing resolution for Homeland Security enough for now? Some of them might not be happy with even that. So, we'll see what the House ends up doing. But the general consensus is that they should come back Monday and approve it, and we should be good to go.
We're speaking with Michael Wallace from CBS News. Let's shift gears here, Michael. We have a new Federal Reserve chair announced by the president on Truth Social. What do we know about him?
Kevin Warsh, a former Federal Reserve governor. He served as governor on the Fed board from 2006 to 2011. He is one of the key people, to handle the recovery after the economic crisis of 2008 and 2009. Interestingly, back then, he was pretty hawkish about interest rates. He wanted to keep interest rates higher coming out of that crisis. As you recall, then President Obama and others were able to keep rates pretty low to help the economy kind of recover. But at the time, he wanted rates to stay higher. Now, lately, he's been calling for lower interest rates, as has President Trump, who, of course, has been slamming the current Fed chair, Jerome Powell. So the thinking is that Warsh will come in and push for more interest rate cuts than the Fed has been doing lately. Of course, Warsh has only one vote on that Federal Reserve Board, even as the chairman. He has more power than anybody else sitting on that board. So whether he can get the rest of the Fed to change some of their minds and cut rates more, that will remain to be seen. And, of course, he still has to be confirmed as well.
Yeah, Jerome Powell is still the Fed head until May. Why would Trump make the announcement now?
Well, I think he realizes that there could be some trouble here. It's not a slam dunk for Warsh in the Senate. Tom Tillis, a Republican from North Carolina, has said and reiterated this morning, even after the announcement of Warsh's name, Tillis has said that he is not going to confirm any Fed chairman until this whole federal investigation into current chair Powell is dropped. He's upset about that. So he could be the deciding vote here on any confirmation for Warsh. So they're going to have to work that out first before Warsh gets through the Senate. So, this might take a few weeks or months. So I think that's why Trump came out pretty early here today. The other interesting note is that Powell, even though his chair term ends in May, Powell could opt to remain on the board through 2028. So Powell might decide, I'm going to stick around and try to make sure that these rates are not cut too fast and too quickly. So there are a lot of interesting developments to come here in the next couple of months.
That's for sure. Okay, Michael Wallace, CBS News, last question for you. Super Bowl is 9 days away. Who you got?
Well, born and raised in Boston, I'm going to have to go.
Come on.
Oh, wait.
Michael.
What? His line is cutting out. What was that? Couldn't quite hear you, Michael.
I thought
Do
you
you
were.
want me to lie or do you want me to tell you?
I want you to lie next time, please.
I don't.
Well,
Michael, thank you so much.
If it comes to the end and, Walker's on the 2-yard line, I hope you guys try to pass again.
Hey, now.
Oh, wow.
Don't go there.
Okay.
Wow.
Nick, do we have a dump button?
I'm just going to cut him off.
Okay, bye. Have a nice weekend, Michael.
You too, guys. Take care.
6:22 now. Seattle's Morning News. Sully is at the traffic desk.
That is just uncalled for.
Well,
boy.
let the trash talking begin.
Wow. Yeah, I get it. If you're born and raised in Boston, you get it. I get it.
Hey, the difference now we have JSN to pass to at
Yeah.
the goal line, and he will not.
But he triggered past trauma. Michael.
Oh, guys,
that cut
get ready.
deep.
The next 9 days, there's going to be a lot of
You're
that.
going to get through it, Charlie. Relax. It's okay.
Are we going to get through the Friday commute?
Well, I thought so, but I'm leaving. No, we have a problem on the Ship Canal Bridge. We have a crash on the left side of the freeway, southbound I-5. The 2 left lanes are blocked, so now a second lane is blocked, and we have a 4.5-mile backup that extends all the way up to about 130th, not quite to 145th, but either way, we have a, let's see here, just a 40-minute trip now from Linwood into Seattle, and a 55-minute trip from Everett to Seattle. So that's about a 22-minute delay through the area. So that is pretty ugly. Hoping they can get this thing out of the way. We have started to see people go over to 405 now, which we normally do. That's just the results of the Revive I-5 work. So we're up to about 40 minutes total from Everett to Bellevue. So much faster on 405 at this particular time of the morning. Northbound 167 looking really good until you get all the way up at the north end and then make your decision to go to northbound 405. We have some slowing in those ramp meters area, but overall 40 minutes. Puyallup to Renton, 17 from Renton to Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle, no issues for you guys, 35 minutes there. Olympia to Tacoma's got 35 or less. 16 and 18 look really good. Lake bridges are quiet. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio's app. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows. Get the latest news and updates sent right to your phone.
Okay, looking at the forecast, occasional showers today, occasional sun breaks as well. High of 52, 58 for our high tomorrow. After we get past morning showers, it'll be partly sunny in the afternoon. Rainy on Sunday, a high of 53. Right now in Seattle, we have cloudy skies. It's 46.
Coming up, Super Bowl 60 on the way. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more on the road to Santa Clara.
We'll have that and your opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Dan. Dan, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
I had the same insurance company for 30 years and just accepted all the premium increases as inflation or feeling tethered to them because I have earthquake coverage and was uncertain about being able to get that anywhere else. But when I talked to Ken at First Mark, wow, he came back with bigger umbrella policy, better earthquake coverage, which I didn't think was possible. And when he came down with the premium number, it was a no-brainer. We were saving over $2,500 a year. Don't wait, because it's annoying to think of what I could have done with that money over the last 10 years had I done something sooner.
Well, Dan did it. My family did it. You got to do it, and it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be the next First Mark Challenge victory that I get to talk to as well. Simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of?
Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-990-3434. That's 800-990-3434. 800-990-3434.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Styles change, 12s grow, but Seahawks love, that's forever. From the young fans in their fresh new jerseys to the lifelong 12s in their throwback jackets. At the Pro Shop, we've got gear for 12s of every age and every walk of life. This is the Pro Shop. Shop official Seahawks gear in-store at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/Pro Shop.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:30. Seattle police are getting updated protocols regarding federal immigration actions.
Chief Sean Barnes says officers will not assist in immigration enforcement, but will document incidents and verify federal agents' credentials if called to a scene, per the director of Mayor Katie Wilson. Wilson, meanwhile, is launching a new Stand Together Seattle initiative, encouraging private property owners to require warrants for access.
I think this is a really scary time for a lot of people in Seattle and around the country. And as the mayor, I really feel a great responsibility for people's safety and people's feelings of safety.
Wilson also ordering a citywide review to limit data sharing.
And Seattle's Mayor Wilson is making good on her bet with the mayor of Los Angeles after the Seahawks beat the Rams Sunday. Wilson is in Washington, D.C. right now for the Conference of Mayors.
And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey here to explain.
Setting the mood. It is Blue Friday. Let's go Hawks. So if that lead didn't kind of sound right, that's because Mayor Wilson told me she and the mayor of L.A., Karen Bass, did a reverse bet. Yeah, that's right. The winner, in this case, sent the loser a gift.
In retrospect, it's a little strange because we won. So I'm not sure why the winning team is the one sending something to the losing team, but apparently that's the way we did the bet.
I spoke with Mayor Wilson just last night. In this case, Mayor Wilson sent Bass a packet of Boona Coffee, which is really fantastic, which is a local Eritrean coffee company dedicated to creating positive social impact as well as good coffee. So now there are negotiations, the mayor tells me, going on concerning a bet with Boston Mayor Michelle Wu.
There's been some talk of Dungeness crab and lobster. Also some talk about, wearing each other's jerseys while riding public transit. So something is going to happen, but we haven't decided exactly what yet.
I'm not your comms person or PR person. Do not wear a Patriots jersey on Seattle Metro
on
bus.
light rail?
You.
It
No,
sounds
or
kind of dangerous.
anywhere.
I think my security detail might have something to say about that.
Are we right? Don't do that. Don't do that at all. All right, next we asked Mayor Wilson for her Super Bowl prediction, of course.
Well, I don't want to jinx us, but we're going to win, obviously.
And, we're getting to know her, who she is, what she's all about. And so I asked her, what is her go-to football food for the Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah, I'll be watching with friends. And my go-to Super Bowl food, God, I don't know. What do people eat while watching the Super Bowl?
Artichoke dip, I think.
I'm sure there'll be some potato chips involved. I don't know, or some French fries, some kind of fried potato product. I'm sure.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
You can't go wrong with fried potato products.
Can get behind that.
Not at all. All right, so that's just a tidbit of what we got from the mayor this morning. We're going to have something new every hour coming up in the next hour. We have the latest Seahawks news as well. They're getting ready to head down to San Jose. That's where they're going to be staying for the Super Bowl. I've got their schedule. I've got the injury report on the Patriots quarterback. Yep, that's right. He's hurt right now. If Mayor Wilson were coaching the Seahawks, I asked her as well in 2014, you ready? Would she hand the ball to Marshawn? I asked her that. It's an interesting response. We'll have that in the next hour.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, is she getting hazed by the mayor of Los Angeles?
I think so.
Katie Wilson being the rookie mayor? Oh, no, it's a reverse bet. So you have to give me things.
That's how it works.
No, you just don't understand, Mayor Wilson. No, please.
It is on brand, though.
What would LA have sent us? More traffic?
Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
Right?
It was a food thing, and I can't remember what it was. I should know.
Smog.
Smog.
Thank you, Luke.
You got it.
All right, Sully. You have traffic, not from Los Angeles, but right here in Seattle.
I'm pretty sure her Super Bowl party, everybody brings something and there's a community table. But
okay, talk traffic now.
I am 5 miles worth of backup and 50-minute delays already getting into Seattle on southbound I-5. We have a backup that starts at 145th, goes all the way down to the Ship Canal Bridge, where we've been working with a crash, blocking the 2 left lanes. It looks like it just cleared, but the damage is done. It's an hour from Linwood and an hour and 15 all the way from Everett to Seattle. You compare that to the 40 minutes total from Everett to Bellevue, and I think you've got a pretty good idea of which way you should be going at this point. The rest of the map looks really good. Federal Way to Seattle, under 40 minutes. Under 40 from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue, we've got about a 20-minute trip, maybe a little under. Across the lake, no problems. Olympia to Tacoma, 35. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
We're looking for occasional showers today, also occasional sun breaks. 52, the forecast high for Seattle. 58 after we have some morning showers tomorrow, partly sunny by the afternoon. Rain at times on Sunday with a high of 53. 46 right now downtown.
It is now 6:36. That's time for the opening bell report. President Trump has selected former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh to be the next Federal Reserve Chair when Jerome Powell's term ends in May. Warsh was appointed to the Fed Board of Governors by then-President George W. Bush in 2006. At the age of 35, he was the youngest person to ever hold that position. We get more from CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
He left his term 7 years early, and he was really in disagreement with the rest of the board. He thought interest rates were too low coming out of the financial crisis. Fast forward now, he is a guy who has been saying that interest rates must come down. He's pro-deregulation. He's pro-tariffs.
The president has been openly critical of Powell for not lowering interest rates.
Wall Street struggled yesterday under the pressure of a tech sell-off, and Microsoft played a big role in this. Here's CBS business reporter Jason Brooks.
Wall Street isn't happy with the earnings results from some high-profile tech companies, including Microsoft and Tesla, with Microsoft shares diving by double digits due to slowing cloud revenue growth. Meta Platforms helped offset some of the tech selling as shares in the Facebook and Instagram parent surged higher on Mark Zuckerberg's ambitious AI spending plans. The Dow rallied higher by 56 points to 49,071, but the Nasdaq plunged 172 points to 23,685, and the S&P was down 9 points to 69.69. The price of oil surged higher by more than $2 to $65.42 a barrel, its highest level since August, on investor concerns over the U.S. attacking Iran. Jason Brooks, CBS News.
The Trump family has a bone to pick with the IRS.
The Trump family is taking the IRS to court over the public release of their tax records. President Trump, his 2 adult sons, and the Trump Organization filed a $10 billion lawsuit in a Miami, Florida federal court, saying the agency failed to prevent a leak of the files by a former employee. The former IRS contractor pleaded guilty to sending the tax returns to news outlets.
That's CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
There are claims some of the chicken at Costco isn't at all as cracked up to be.
A couple of women in California are suing Costco over its signature $4.99 Kirkland seasoned rotisserie chickens. They say labels claiming the birds are preservative-free are false. The company admits they do contain sodium phosphate and carrageenan for moisture retention, texture, and product consistency. But Costco says both additives are approved by food safety authorities. The plaintiffs claim customers have been cheated out of tens of millions of dollars. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Nordstrom is marking 125 years in business this year, also marking 1 year since the Nordstrom family bought the company back. That $6.25 billion deal ended more than 50 years on the stock market. The Puget Sound Business Journal just named Nordstrom its Family Business of the Year. Brothers Eric and Peter Nordstrom now lead a company with 55,000 employees, about 6,800 of them here in Washington. Nordstrom also remains a major local donor, giving away more than $8 million in 2024.
Well, we're starting off the trading day on Wall Street in the red. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 100 points right now. That's 0.2%. S&P 500 is off by 14. That's also 0.2%. NASDAQ down 82. That's 0.35%.
Where do police write the most speeding tickets in your city? Well, KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon is riding along, going behind the scenes to show you how police are cracking down on speeders from Everett to Seattle to Renton. KIRO 7 maps the hot spots for speeding tickets right down to the intersection. KIRO 7 investigates Monday at 5:30 p.m. only on KIRO 7 TV.
Okay, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the really long lineup on southbound I-5 caused by a crash on the Ship Canal Bridge. We'll break it down for you next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Does my voice sound pretty good?
Better than I thought it would.
The John Curley Show.
I was really trying to work with my diaphragm.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I was screaming as everybody else was screaming, and all of a sudden the muscles in my neck tightened up and it shut off blood in my head. I thought I almost passed out. I was so close.
What if you died?
Well, I would have been paying no attention to me like, get up, Dad.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. Northwest News.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, But Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there. It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
6:43, time for traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
We've got a mess on our hands on southbound I-5, and for once, it's not entirely related to the loss of the express lanes. We had a crash, pretty significant one, that blocked 2 lanes across the Ship Canal Bridge for about 30 minutes, and when that happens, you get a 5-mile backup. It is cleared. All lanes have reopened, but we're bumper to bumper from 145th all the way down. Hour and 15-minute trip from Everett to Seattle, an hour alone from Linwood. That is about 45 minutes slower than it should be. I'm hoping because of the lighter conditions today that will start cleaning out before we get into next hour, but that's the situation. People have headed over to 405, kind of the normal folks to avoid the Revive I-5 slowing, and we're up to about 45 minutes from Everett into Bellevue, which of course is way faster than I-5. Rest of the map, nice and easy, 40 minutes or less from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is under 20, Federal Way to Seattle about 38. There are some brake lights past the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Lake bridges, though, are in very good shape, no problems there. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Confident winter driving starts at Subaru of Puyallup. Find stress-free pricing at SubaruPuyallup.com. Stress-free buying at Subaru of Puyallup, which is, of course, your stress-free dealership.
Our forecast. We're going to see some more rain this morning. Should taper off for the afternoon, though. 52 our high today. Tomorrow, the showers are in the morning, but some peaks of sunshine by afternoon and warm tomorrow. 58. Back to the rain on Sunday. Just rain at times in 53. Right now it is cloudy, a little bit drizzly, and 47 in Seattle.
Well, coming up, it's Friday, then it's Saturday, Sunday.
What?
KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden with his weekend planner next on Seattle's Morning News.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain, and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters. Tune in this weekend when we'll talk with local business owners about everything in and around your home. Join us on Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO News Radio, or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Weekend right around the corner. And if you're looking for something fun to do, KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden has you covered.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
As everyone waits as patiently as they can for next weekend's big game for the Seattle Seahawks, why not pass the time with some other awesome events in our region this weekend? We are still in the middle of winter and you might be in the need of something to warm you up. Well, the Soup-pocalypse is here and taking over Fremont. There will be 16 restaurants serving up soups, chowders, and stews throughout the neighborhood for Fremont Soup-pocalypse. Each stop you make will get you a stamp in your soup passport. Collect 8 stamps and you can earn Super Soup swag at Triangle Spirits. The Soup-pocalypse is already underway and runs through the weekend. Check out the Soup-pocalypse website for the full list. Saturday at the Wing Luke Museum is the Lunar New Year Family Fair. It's a day full of fun that starts with a free outdoor lion dance and speaking program at 10 a.m. And following, there are a variety of games, crafts, and a zodiac animal scavenger hunt inside the museum. You'll need to reserve a ticket to get into the museum, so visit the Wing Luke Museum website for more details. Have you been waiting for the right time to get your next or first tattoo? Then you'll want to head to the Greater Tacoma Convention Center and Trade Center for the Tacoma Tattoo Expo. There will be hundreds of artists who will be available to give you your dream tattoo. You'll also see belly dances, aerialists, and a roaming circus act to bring the fun. Artists will be also competing for prizes live at the event, so you can see some of the best in the business create something special. The Tacoma Tattoo Expo runs through the weekend. You can get ready for the summer with a few shows this weekend. Get ready to hit the water and learn about the latest and greatest in the world of boating at the Seattle Boat Show. There will be hundreds of boats and watercraft to check out at Lumen Field throughout the weekend and all next week. At the Washington State Fair Events Center, you can gear up for your next camping trip at the Washington Sportsman Show. There will be seminars to learn and prepare for your next big trip and plenty of vendors to stock up so you can hit the trails no matter what the PNW throws at you. The Washington Sportsman Show runs through the weekend. Also at the Seattle Convention Center, plan for your big day at the Seattle Wedding Show, which runs through the weekend. And finally, down in Tacoma, you can get your garden spring ready thanks to the Tacoma Home and Garden Show. If you're looking for ideas, there will be seminars as well as expert vendors who can help you build the exact space you're looking for. The Tacoma Home and Garden Show runs through the weekend. While you wait for the Seahawks, there is one big game you can catch to scratch that sports itch this weekend. The Seattle Thunderbirds are taking on the Everett Silvertips for the Battle of the Sound at Climate Pledge on Saturday with puck drop at 6:05. Tickets are still available. Now, if you're up for a bit of an adventure this weekend at the Cowlitz County Fairgrounds, it's time to celebrate everyone's favorite mascot of the Pacific Northwest, Sasquatch. Squatch Fest will have speakers who will teach you everything you need to know about the cryptid. There will also be a Sasquatch calling contest, arts and crafts for the kids, plus local beer, wine, and cider to enjoy. Squatch Fest is Saturday and Sunday. The first month of the year is already in the rearview mirror. What are you looking forward to in February? Let me know. Paul H. at KIRORadio.com. Paul Holden, KIRO News Radio.
How on earth is it the end of January already?
Yeah, very true. It'll be February, the next show we have.
Yeah.
Reminded me of the X-Files reboot a couple years back, and how Mulder went out squatching.
Who hasn't?
Yeah. You know, Sully, maybe we should do that for a story one day.
I've got a tree knocker. Holly gave me one. And I heard Sasquatch is actually showing up at Squatch Fest this year as the keynote speaker. They've been asking him for years.
Yeah. They had to pay the big bucks for that.
But yeah, the Dimension is opening the portal, and I think he's going to be there for a little bit.
Do you know how terrified I was of running into Sasquatch when I was a kid growing up here?
Yeah, I was too.
He was like the boogeyman.
Yeah. I love the fact that there's a possibility that it could exist.
Right?
Yeah, I love the fact that it's a possibility.
They're probably paying him in salmon and not dollars.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
So,
you ever been squatching, Nick?
I haven't, no. But I'd be excited if I ever saw him.
Okay, all right.
You should do it. As Seattle's morning news team. Let's go
SMN goes squatching.
I love it.
Count me in.
Hey, if you are wanting to watch the Mariners next season, this is something pretty cool. The team announced the launch of Mariners TV. It'll be available on streaming, cable, and satellite. $100 for the season, $20 a month. Mariners will announce more specifics coming up closer to opening day, but nothing changes on the radio. You can listen to the M's on 710 Seattle Sports as the flagship station.
Well, it started as a rumor, but now the look is locked in for Super Bowl 60, and the uniform matchup is set. The Seahawks will indeed be wearing all blue for the game, helmets, jersey, and pants. They've won 70 out of 100 games with that color combination. The Patriots in all white. They went 5-0 this season in white jerseys and pants.
It's going to be very cold this weekend in Florida, and that means a delay for NASA's planned Artemis II flight to send 4 astronauts around the moon next month.
With temperatures expected to bottom out in the 20s, NASA has postponed its practice countdown and fueling for the Artemis II rocket. The so-called wet dress rehearsal has been moved from tomorrow to no earlier than Monday. That would push the launch date from next Friday to no earlier than a week from Sunday. This weekend's chill would violate NASA's launch rules, so they're waiting for it to warm up. Artemis II is planned as a 10-day flight that loops around the moon as a precursor for a future landing. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
My daughter is on a senior trip to Orlando right now.
Boy.
They made all the kids bring warmer jackets. It's going to be like in the mid-20s at Disney World. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's check the traffic conditions. Here's Sully as we check traffic on the 3s.
It's going to make the water rides really interesting, isn't it? And cold. Kind of as expected, because of the lighter volume, we're really cleaning up and speeding up our travel times on southbound I-5 after this crash we had on the Ship Canal Bridge. We still have a really big delay right through, say, 130th down to about Northgate, but the travel time has come down significantly. It's only 35 minutes now from Linwood to Seattle, which is about 15-minute delay over what you might expect, 50 minutes all the way from Everett. A lot more people have headed over to 405, so it's running around 45 minutes total from Everett down into Bellevue. Once you're past 522, though, it's good the rest of the way. Federal Way to Seattle, no problems for you guys, just a little hesitation at the north end as you make your way past the West Seattle Bridge. Under 40 minutes, Federal Way to Seattle. Under 40 as well from Puyallup to Renton to Bellevue. Nice and easy, just a little slowing up past SR 900. 20 minutes or less on that drive. Across the lake, we've got no problems. Olympia to Tacoma, nice and freeway speed the whole way. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Feel bad for the iguanas that'll be falling out of the trees in Orlando. It's going to be decent around here. We're seeing rain this morning, but some clearing for the afternoon. 52 the high. A mostly cloudy day, though. Tomorrow, the showers come in the morning hours. Warm tomorrow, 58. Sunday, back to more rain. Steady at times, 53. And then some showers as you head back to work on Monday. Right now in Seattle, mostly cloudy, a little bit drizzly, and 47.
Well, you can always text the show on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. G. Scott texted us, told us he would not be squatching.
No,
so, squatch in, I'm sorry.
He said squatch in question mark. Do we need to explain what it is?
Probably. We could spend all day on that. Well, coming up on the next hour, we're going to speak with Representative Dan Griffey as we look at the bills being proposed in the state legislature. He'll join us at 7:15.
Also, the city of Seattle is paying big in connection with a teen being shot during the CHOP protests. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey will have the latest on that.
More to come. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
The G and Ursula Show.
Seattle is at the top of another list.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
We are officially the most expensive city to host a Super Bowl party. As it gets more and more expensive, do you do things like, hey,
potlucks are fun. Yeah, that's normal. I have friends that'll come over and they'll bring something. Yeah. And I also got those friends that either bring paper plates or ice. Cornelius, I have him bring ice. He's a great ice guy.
On KIRO News Radio and the KIRO News Radio KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-932-5858. That's 800-932-5858. 800-932-5858.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi says she personally ordered today's arrest of former CNN host Don Lemon in Los Angeles, where he was covering the Grammy Awards. It comes days after Lemon recorded an anti-ICE protest inside a church in Minneapolis. CBS's Lilia Luciano.
We don't know exactly what the evidence is. We don't know what activities he carried out, but we have seen the videos. He said he was interviewing the pastor. We've heard from Don Lemon's attorney, who says he was exercising as a journalist his First Amendment speech.
And his attorney says Lemon will fight the charges vigorously and thoroughly in court. This is a national day of protest over the killings of Renee Good and ICU nurse Alex Pretty. Organizers are encouraging people to stay home from school, work, and shopping. Protests over the presence of ICE agents in U.S. cities are set for tomorrow as well. CBS's Ian Lee is in Minneapolis.
We will watch these carefully because in the past, they have been points of friction. You have seen clashes between protesters and federal agents, and we have seen 2 people killed in those sorts of incidents.
President Trump has tapped Fed critic Kevin Warsh to succeed Jerome Powell as the next Federal Reserve chair. Bank rate analyst Sarah Foster says that he may want to cut interest rates more, but he would be only one vote.
The Fed chair, while he is the face of the committee, he is just one vote, and he's probably going to need to bring very convincing evidence if he's going to get officials to step off the sidelines.
Powell's term expires in May. President Trump is suing the IRS and the Treasury Department for $10 billion.
The president claims those agencies illegally allowed an IRS contractor to leak his tax returns and the returns of his sons and the Trump Organization in 2020. The New York Times later reported Trump only paid $750 in federal income taxes in 2016. The lawsuit says the Trumps have suffered reputational and financial harm and public embarrassment, and their business reputations and public standing have been unfairly tarnished. In 2024, the IRS contractor who leaked the Trumps' tax records was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Just what people in the Southeast don't need, a second winter storm. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
By Saturday, moderate to heavy snow will be falling across northern portions of Georgia, North and South Carolina, on up through southern sections of Virginia. Now, it will fall just short of the Washington, D.C., Baltimore region. Most of the heavy snow will stay south.
Temperatures in some parts could dip into the teens this weekend. Dow futures down 172. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
7:03 traffic on the threes this Friday morning. Let's check in with Sully.
And we've settled down a little bit after that crash we had on the Ship Canal Bridge on southbound I-5. Now we just have a very limited amount of slowing approaching Lake City and then past the Forest Merge there. So that's positive. The travel time still elevated, 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle, with 35 of that from Linwood. So about 10 or 15 minutes, probably closer to 10 minutes slower than normal. A lot of people headed over to 405, and so it's really slow out of the Canyon Park area. We have about a 50-minute trip from Everett to Bellevue, 30 of those minutes out of Linwood. And yes, we have hit the $15 max in the toll lanes. And by the way, I got an update from Good to Go yesterday. They don't have the authority, they say, to waive the tolls during Revive I-5, even on 405. There's a story up at mynorthwest.com if you want to read their full statement. The rest of the map, we have a drive time of about 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle, 40 from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about 20. Lake bridges are good. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04. City of Seattle has been ordered to pay more than $30 million after a jury found it liable in the killing of 16-year-old Antonio Mays Jr. in 2020.
He was shot in the so-called chop zone, and we get the latest live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
And Mays' father spoke with KIRO 7 TV right after that verdict.
To know my son and to know that he was strong, proud, black, positive, and big-hearted, kind-hearted, and hard-working, that's the kind of, memory that should resonate when they think about my son. Somebody that when you see him coming, he cares about you.
After Mays was shot in the chop zone and witnesses called 911, paramedics refused to enter that area. After deliberating for some 12 days, the jury in this case found the city was negligent in its emergency response. Now, the shooting happened also after the city had abandoned its East Precinct. A spokesperson for the city attorney's office says they consider Mays' death to be tragic, and they will assess the city's options going forward. That would include appealing, perhaps, that $30 million awarded by the jury to the family of the deceased.
Okay, keep us updated, Luke. Mayor Katie Wilson preparing Seattle for a possible surge of federal ICE enforcement activity.
KIRO TV's Elle Thompson reports a key piece of the plan involves Seattle police.
SPD will be required to use their dash cam and body cams to investigate, verify, and document any reports of ICE activity.
The plan also prohibits ICE agents from using city-owned and controlled property, and the mayor is spending $4 million to support legal defense for immigrants and their advocates.
Shutting down to protest immigration crackdowns. That's what some Seattle businesses are doing today. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin.
You're not going to find the doors open here at Ben's Bread Company this morning. They're one of about 30 Seattle businesses shutting their doors today. The owners say that they want to do everything they can to stand in solidarity with Minneapolis. And again, they're one of dozens of businesses across Washington also participating. Some of them posting posting on social media saying that this is in support of Minneapolis businesses that have been closed for weeks because of the ongoing protests of ICE agents. Many of these local shops also donated a portion of yesterday's earnings to those closed businesses as well.
Activists are calling for people to stay home from work and school, not spend money to send a message.
A bill to lower Washington's blood alcohol limit for drivers has cleared a major hurdle.
Senate Bill 5067 would lower the limit from 0.08 to 0.05. Democrat John Lovick, who served as the Snohomish County Sheriff and as a Washington State Trooper, is the prime sponsor.
Every single DUI collision was preventable.
Republican Jeff Holey voted no. He used to be a Spokane police officer, and he says he had similar experiences to Lovick.
And part of that has been scraping dead kids, dead drivers out of cars, people off pavement.
But he says lowering the limit to 0.05 would mean going after drivers who are not impaired. Frank Lindsay, KIRO Newsradio.
And that bill now heads for the House.
Also in the state legislature, for the fifth time, the Senate voted to make Washington the Evergreen State, its official nickname. Democratic and Republican senators back the bill, which sponsor Jeff Wilson says has been stalled for more than 130 years.
I'm hoping that we will be well received and vote the nickname through. I mean, we have a semi-quincentennial event coming up. It would be nice to know that this year alone that Washington State has proudly, officially adopted that nickname to help the United States of America enjoy that 250-year birthday.
For our semi-quincentennial. Lawmakers also voted to name the Columbia Plateau cactus as the official cactus after students in Ellensburg pushed for it. Both measures now head to the House.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, good morning. Blue Friday. It's January 30th already. He's Charlie. I'm Manda Factor.
And, of course, Sully is here keeping an eye on traffic. We haven't, it hasn't been as bad as it has been this week, right?
What now?
Traffic hasn't been as bad this morning.
No,
as it has been.
It actually has been because we had a crash, but it's recovered now. So today's a little lighter than normal, or lighter. I mean, a Friday light, but we still have the backups.
I think the KIRO TV folks, they have a countdown. It's more than 120 days, something like that, before we just get a pause in the Revive I-5 for a month, and then we're back to it.
Yeah,
great.
If only somebody had told us this was going to happen.
Oh, wait, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
Oh, well.
Well, coming up on this hour of the show, Republican Representative Dan Griffey will join the show to talk about some of the big bills discovered and being discussed in the legislature this 60-day session.
And what's coming up on the 7:35 commentary?
Well, watch out. If you have expired tabs, a hammer is about to come down hard.
We'll get to that at 7:35. It's now 7:09. The Washington Office of Independent Investigations is looking for a new director.
First and only director, Roger Rogoff, announced his resignation earlier this week, and KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has the story.
The OII is tasked with conducting fair, thorough, transparent, and competent investigations into officers' use of force cases statewide. Retired King County Sheriff John Urquhart on why this independent office is so critical.
And it doesn't really matter how good or bad a police agency does in their investigations. They're not going to have the credibility with the public because it looks like they've got a vested interest.
OII's Chief of Staff Jane Nesbitt will serve as interim director. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The King County Regional Homelessness Authority launched this year's point-in-time count this week, but a Seattle nonprofit leader is concerned. Andrea Suarez with We Heart Seattle tells John Curley the new peer referral system, which offers small cash incentives, could lead to duplicate or inaccurate reporting.
It does concern me that we're relying on people to turn themselves in that are homeless.
Previously, volunteers would go out for one night and count people who were living unsheltered. KCRHA says the old method led to undercounts. They say this new method provides deeper insight into why people are homeless. This year's count continues until February 6th.
Well, this was kind of unsettling to see on Facebook yesterday afternoon. The Muckleshoot Department of Education was warning families after there were multiple mountain lion sightings. Tribal education officials were urging parents and guardians to meet their kids at bus stops as a precaution yesterday afternoon. No injuries were reported.
We told you the flu virus has claimed the life of a teenager in Snohomish County. Flu levels remain high statewide. Virologist Dr. Angela Rasmussen tells the G and Ursula show a vaccination can still mean the difference between a mild illness and a hospital stay.
If you want your flu, if you have to get it, to be mild, inconvenience, like you stay home for a couple of days and eat chicken soup and take Dayquil, then get a flu shot. If you want to be in the hospital on a ventilator, then don't.
Health officials say there have been 59 deaths across the state this flu season.
Okay, gearing up for the Super Bowl. The Seahawks hit the practice field yesterday for the first time since becoming NFC champs. Give us a better idea of their overall health thanks to the daily practice report. Good news is that linebacker Ernest Jones is dealing with a new chest injury, did practice, even though he was limited. Starting left tackle Charles Cross, who's been banged up with lower body injury since middle of last month, did not practice yesterday with a foot issue. He's also dealt with hamstring and knee problems over the past month and a half. As for the Patriots, their injury report was a bit smaller than Seattle's, with 9 players listed compared to the Seahawks' 12.
And let's talk a little baseball. Now know how Mariners fans can watch the games this season. The team announced the launch of Mariners TV, available on streaming, cable, and satellite. The streaming-only option will cost you about $100 for the season, $19.99 a month, and the Mariners will announce more specifics on cable and satellite options closer to opening day. No changes on the radio, of course. 710 Seattle Sports is still the flagship station.
At 7:12, let's get a check on the weather. Nick Allard, you are watching the forecast, and the weekend is upon us. What's it look like, Nick?
It looks pretty nice, to be honest with you. What I think you'll get is just a few showers tomorrow morning, and then after about midday, most of us will dry out, and I think it's going to be a warm one tomorrow. We do have to get through some rain first off, though, today, and then starting to move in now. And over the next hour or so, we'll see more widespread rain that'll stick around through about mid-afternoon, maybe about 3 o'clock or so. Basically, as we start the afternoon and evening drive, we'll see the steadier rain taper off. A little blustery at times, especially for the coast and for the northwest interior, but most of us will just be in the 50s. We'll just see some rain for a few hours today, turning to showers later, and then drying out tonight. Like I said, just a few isolated showers for the first half of tomorrow, and then we're in the upper 50s with sun breaks for the afternoon. And then Sunday, we have a couple of waves of rain moving through, just a soggier day for sure. And then Monday morning, a little early. And then right now, next week, looks dry, and I got a couple days either at or right near 60 degrees.
I'll take it right now in Seattle.
That's almost 3,000.
I love it. Almost. Yep. Right now in Seattle, it's 46.
And it's 7:13. Time for an update on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes, and here's Chris Sullivan.
And it is manageable out there for those of you coming down from the north end. Definitely not Friday light, but there are fewer cars out there because of the loss of the express lanes in the southbound direction. We do have some braking to deal with, basically inside of 145th down through Northgate. Some people have headed over to 405, and it's a little slow away from Canyon Park down through 522. But we're back under 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, so only 10 or 12-minute delays over what you might expect. So that's pretty good. Now, northbound I-5 does have a few more customers as you get past the West Seattle Bridge. Overall, though, we're at 35 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. That is great, and there's really nothing behind that at all from Olympia all the way up. All of Pierce County is quiet, and Puyallup to Renton is only running about 40 minutes. Heaviest spot there right at the north end, and then Renton to Bellevue's under 20, but not by much. It's getting there. S-curves are starting to activate a little bit. Lake bridges are quiet. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
Here's how Doug McMillon became CEO of the world's biggest company at age 47. I'm Jeff Colvin of Fortune magazine with the Fortune Business Update. McMillon has just retired as CEO of Walmart. He started working at Walmart at age 17, working in warehouses in the summer. He went to college and business school, continuing to work for Walmart when he could. He says one reason he got the opportunities he got was that he'd raise his hand when his boss was out of town. If he sat in running a meeting and didn't know the answer of a question, he'd say, "I don't know, but I'll find out fast and get back to you." He says he became a low-risk promotion because people had already seen him do the job. But he says, don't spend too much of your time trying to get promoted. The next job doesn't come if you don't do the one you've got well. I'm Jeff Colvin.
It's 7:16 now. I talked in my commentary yesterday about Senate Bill 5312, a piece of legislation proposed last year that would reduce sex offender registration and supervision requirements for people convicted through net nanny sting operations. Now, that bill carried through to the current legislative session and has yet to be pulled, despite not having the support to be voted through.
You got a lot of feedback from the people on your commentary, including from Republican Representative Dan Griffey, who joins us now on Seattle's Morning News. Nice Jersey, Representative.
Thank you so much. It's Friday light for me today.
Love
Excellent.
it.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Okay, so as I had in the commentary, Dan, it doesn't look like there's a path forward for the bill, but I was actually surprised to see it's still technically active. What did you think when you heard that commentary?
Oh, I love the commentary. I wanted to get, I called my PIO and said, I got to be on their show. I got to thank the man who is continuing to shed light on this possibility. We can't do this. I worked all last session to defeat it. I am so happy that it's not going to go this year. I don't believe it's going to go. We'll keep a hard eye on it, but thank you so much for keeping the public informed of this. It is very important. We cannot do this.
Why is the idea still alive?
Well, I mean, there are some. I talked to a group of parents that were upset that their kids, unfortunately, acted in a monstrous way. When you're a family member, you have, I think, an ability to make excuses for the terrible behavior that your family members engage in. Every member of my family knows that we won't make excuses for terrible behavior. We'll work through them. And all of my kids have been brought up that way. And I think we should all think that way, especially when it comes to these horrible crimes with young children.
So I want to talk to you about some of the other things we have been following closely on this show, including those 3 bills at least that are meant to address the Keeping Families Together Act. How right now it doesn't really define what imminent danger is to a child. There are at least 3 active bills. What do we need to know about these?
Well, I don't think the majority party is going to do the right thing, and we're going to still see, we're going to, Rep. Couture and myself will probably be on your show again, and we'll be saying, unfortunately, the death report from DSHS, those under the supervision of their agency, is going to go up again. Unfortunately, there are people that have a monkey on their back of addiction that makes them unable to parent effectively. Our proposal is we separate the two, we treat the two, we treat them well, we rebuild their lives, and we hope for reunification. I mean, that is our absolute goal, but we should separate the kids, and we should make sure that we don't have more child fatality statistics. We can do something about it. It is just devastating that the agency and the state will not do the right thing.
This is a very short, busy session. Where do those bills stand right now?
Well, 2 of them were heard. One of them's a kind of a watered down version of Representative Couture's bill. It has the ability to do the same thing. I apologize. The lights just do that. This in the Capitol. We save energy here, folks. Anyway, but you two continuing to make sure that the people that are commuting in the mornings hear about this so that the people can have an upswelling. We know this is a 70 or 80% issue, that 70 or 80% of Washingtonians are on you and I's side on this. And we're just going to keep it going, the momentum going until we start saving kids.
Well, you are a Republican, Dan, but this is not a partisan issue. It's not a partisan issue to think smoking fentanyl in a tent with a child is putting a child in danger. And that's something I just keep coming back to, is some people don't see it that way.
I think it is a reasonable and easy conclusion for the reasonable thinker that is imminent harm and imminent potential for harm to children. I don't understand how some brains think. I mean, when we first contemplated this, it was we thought that DSHS were removing kids too quickly and that we should try to keep families together. Absolute concept I agree with. But when there are obvious, red lights or red signs or signs that this kiddo is not going to be treated best, we should do the right thing, separate them, make sure that the parents get treated for the condition that, that is so crippling. I mean, it is so crippling, they can't be effective parents. We all know this. The drug and the seeking of the drug becomes the near 100% of their human activity. We just need to help them fix themselves so they can get back together with their kids and be good parents.
Speaking with Republican Representative Dan Griffey, Charlie this week was able to get a hold of a draft of the income tax proposal. And while we have you, I'm just curious your thoughts about it. It raised a few eyebrows.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a tax on $500,000 income right now. Like if a spouse makes $500,000, a little over $500,000, and then the other spouse makes it. I mean, the way they're portraying it or putting it out there, it's just a flat income tax with a flat deduction. I think that's some trickery, and it's totally not what they told us in the beginning. My problem is there's two choices we can take this year. Is we can make some hard choices and see if there are efficiencies in government that we can make, or we can do a highly controversial income tax and chase capital out of the state. And I'll tell you, the capital is leaving the state of Washington. We just heard in Transpo yesterday, we passed a luxury tax on aircraft. We have a huge aircraft and aviation presence in Washington state. It makes up a huge part of our economy. But large businesses that headquarter fleets of jet aircraft in Washington state are going to move them out and have been moving them out at an alarming rate. I mean, millions and millions of dollars of economic activity leaving, because one purveyor said up to 45% of his annual income would be dedicated to paying this tax. Get that, 45% of his income. We have to be more business friendly. We cannot allow capital flight that is inevitably going to happen.
Okay, we have about 20 seconds left. Can you just give us a headline on what House Bill 2146 is all about, and we will be talking about with you in the very near future?
2146, I apologize. We don't do numbers here.
Focus on the exploitation of minors.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to be maximum effort into this. 100% of my effort here in Olympia, mostly, is to make sure domestic violence and sexual assault survivors get their righteous and due day.
All right, Representative Dan Griffey, we appreciate your time this morning. For those not watching on YouTube, the lights in his room went off mid-interview, but they're back on. Miraculous. And the jersey, is that Largent? I can't quite tell.
It is Steve Largent. Yes, I'm an old school Seahawk fan. I watched the first kickoff when I was a young child, and I will never, ever fade from supporting my Hawks.
All right. Go Hawks. 7:23 now. Thank you, Representative Griffey. Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
And we're running about 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue today because of the loss of the express lanes in the southbound direction of I-5, the forced merge there. And we did have an earlier crash, too, that kind of contributed. It was at the Ship Canal Bridge, but we've cleared up from that. Most of the brake lights for I-5 are south of 145th to past Northgate. And for 405, it's from 527 there in Canyon Park down through 522. 35 minutes to go from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. Rest of the map, Friday light, looking really good. 40 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. There are some brake lights inside of 180th, merging in with 405, and then Renton to Bellevue. We've got about a 25-minute trip now. We're starting to see some brake lights meander past the VMAC there at 44th. Federal Way to Seattle is under 40. The lake bridges are still fine. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoff gear and custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online. Enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree. Now it's simplyseattle.com.
Rain tapering off by afternoon, 52 today. Some showers in the morning tomorrow, and then some clearing and warm 58. Rain at times on Sunday. It's 47 in Seattle right now.
Headlines coming up, and in today's 7:35 commentary, it's time to pay the piper for expired car tabs. We'll talk about it coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
The G and Ursula Show.
We going to the Super Bowl.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
I have been told about Woodstock and how it was just peace, love, and hair grease. That was the energy amongst Seahawk fans everywhere.
People were doubting Sam Darnold. He had the game of his lifetime.
At the game of his life. He won 14 games with the Minnesota Vikings last season, and he won 14 games with the Seahawks this season.
Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel and watch live.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know that keeping your home watertight and dry is essential to your family's safety and comfort. Having well-functioning gutters prevents water damage to your home and prolongs the life of your roof. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
You know what? Let's throw a party this year for the big game.
Hey, we can invite our friends over, and I'll take turns yelling at the TV during the game.
But first, we should get a new TV.
Yeah, like one of the top-rated brands, Samsung, LG, or Sony.
Okay, so I'll start shopping on the internet, then head over to the Warehouse Club to compare.
But if that's all we do, we'll be sorry.
Why?
Because the best deals on those top-rated TVs are at Video Only, not online or at the club.
Video Only has better deals?
Yep. We could save up to $500 if we shop smart.
Then we could afford a larger model and really impress our friends.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Ever notice how everyone has their own idea of clean?
Yeah, your clean desk still has 3 coffee cups.
Yeah, but clean energy is simple. It means no carbon emissions.
And that's what nuclear energy delivers, while providing steady, reliable electricity.
Those big white clouds above a nuclear power plant? Just water vapor, like warm breath on a cold day.
Nuclear energy provides 10% of Washington's electricity, all without adding carbon to the air.
Learn more at energy-northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to tacomahomeandgardenshow.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:31. Seattle's mayor is preparing the city for a potential surge of ICE activity. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas details part of the plan.
An immediate executive order will be issued banning federal agents from city-owned or city-controlled properties. So think things like city parks, parking lots, plazas, vacant lots, storage facilities, garages, Seattle Center. You get the idea here.
The plan also requires police to record and document any reports of ICE activity. The mayor's also spending $4 million to support legal defense for immigrants and their advocates.
7:31 now, and we're 9 days away from Super Bowl Sunday, and the bet between Mayor Katie Wilson, the mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu, is on.
Wilson is in Washington, D.C. right now for the Conference of Mayors, and KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey spoke with her last night. But first, he has the latest Seahawks news.
All right, let's set the mood, everyone. Love these old NFL films, songs. We told you earlier this week, but now it's official. The Seahawks will wear their all-blue uniforms in Super Bowl 60 as the home team. The Patriots are choosing to wear their all-white uniforms. Patriots quarterback Drake May was limited for a second day in a row at practice due to a shoulder injury. You know, he was mic'd up during the AFC Championship game, telling his coach, listen to this, this is hard.
Hey, it's hard. I know. Hey, listen to me. Look at me. It's going to be hard. But look, this will be the most rewarding 6.5 minutes of our lives if we can get it done.
So was that the snow in Denver? Was that his injury? We'll find out. All right, we're getting to know Mayor Katie Wilson a little bit better this morning. She was a real joy to talk with last night. She tells me negotiations are happening as we speak, putting together a bet with the mayor of Boston, and soon they will make a joint announcement in a video on social media. Here's what could be at stake.
There's been some talk of Dungeness crab and lobster. Also some talk about, wearing each other's jerseys while riding public transit.
Yeah, don't do that. I was curious if Wilson could take another mayor anywhere in the city, getting to know her, where would she take them?
Well, I live on Capitol Hill, so I have to have a little bit of Capitol Hill pride. And my neighborhood coffee shop that I end up at very often is Victrola on 15th. And there's, some of the nicest people in the world work there. And it's a great place to sit and hang out with friends.
And since we had the mayor on the phone, naturally we asked her for a Super Bowl prediction. And she said the Seahawks would win, of course. And then, you know what? We dug a little deeper into what kind of leader she really is.
You're a coach in the Super Bowl. It's fourth quarter. This could be the last play of the game. Do you hand the ball to Marshawn?
Oh, God. Yeah, sure.
All right. There you have it. Hey, coming up at 8:30, so Mayor Wilson and Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles did a reverse bet. Wilson, we won, but she sent Bass a pack of local Seattle coffee. However, you know what? There is another coffee company in town, a little more popular than the local one. So I had to ask why she didn't send that more corporate coffee brand instead. If you know, you know. She answers the question, and you're going to hear that answer coming up at 8:30.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Luke.
All right, Sully. Take us through traffic.
And we are looking at a relatively normal fast Friday, with the exceptions of what we've gotten used to with the loss of the express lanes, in the southbound I-5 corridor. We have brake lights there. They're better than normal, but you still have about a 10 or 15 minute delay on both 5 and 405 away from Linwood to get you down into Seattle or Bellevue. For I-5, it's from 145th down past Lake City Way. For 405, it's from the Canyon Park area through 522. You're going to need about 50 minutes minutes out of Everett to get to either one of those destinations, 35 from Linwood. We are seeing a little bit more action past the West Seattle Bridge. Federal Way to Seattle's about 40 minutes. Rented to Bellevue's under 30, maybe 26 now with brake lights up past 44th. Valley Freeway, though, about 40, which is good. Olympia looks great. 16 looks great. 18 looks fine. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app and stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
Our forecast, we're seeing some rain this morning, just light rain. 52 the high for today with the rain ending in the afternoon hours. Tomorrow again, showers in the morning, but some clearing by afternoon, and 58 rain at times on Sunday. Right now it is cloudy, a little bit rainy, and 47 degrees.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
And it's time for the 735 commentary. You know how we have been told for years that the transportation system in our state is broke? Well, it looks like the legislature is finding some money. Yours. It started as a story about car tab fines going up a little. Then I read the actual bill. Then I read what's already on the books, and I realized the hammer is bigger than I thought. Senate Bill 6176 has bipartisan sponsors. Senator Curtis King, a Republican from Yakima, and Senator Marco Elias, a Democrat from Edmonds. They are the top dogs on the Senate Transportation Committee, and they are not messing around. An estimated 600,000 Washington drivers have expired tabs right now. There's a lot of people hoping nobody notices. It's costing the state somewhere between $25 million and $100 million a year. The Department of Licensing says it doesn't track these people, doesn't ask why, doesn't hunt them down. This bill says that's over. Here's what caught me off guard. Some of the gnarliest parts are already law. Did you know your car can already be towed away and impounded if it's parked on a public street with tabs expired more than 45 days? That is current law. Your car towed at 3 a.m. while you sleep. It's legal right now. Did you know registering your car in another state to dodge Washington fees is already a gross misdemeanor, up to a year in jail, mandatory fines a judge cannot reduce? First offense, at least $1,500 plus back taxes. Second offense, $5,500. The Montana LLC you set up after seeing the ad on Facebook, like I've seen twice this morning already, the one that made you feel like a genius at the barbecue, yeah, that's illegal. So what's new in SB 6176? Well, they're expanding the battlefield. Private parking garages could become enforcement zones. Your office lot, the garage near SeaTac, the parking lot where you park for Seahawks games. If the property owner posts a sign, you can get ticketed while you're in a meeting, on vacation in Hawaii, or watching JSN. Come back 2 weeks away from Maui with a tan and a $248 surprise on your windshield. This is the state saying, we're not waiting for you to get pulled over anymore. We're coming to find you. Think less Mayberry, more Liam Neeson.
I will look for you. I will find you.
Some context. Washington voters have approved $30 car tabs 3 times. 1999, 2002, 2019. 3 times they said, enough. 3 times, of course, or the legislature said, that's adorable. For a lot of people, not renewing tabs isn't about being a scofflaw. It's the only protest they think they have left. And the state's response, not to lower fees, not to acknowledge 27 years of frustration. Instead, just to tighten the vice until you have no choice. Supporters say the rest of us are subsidizing the people who don't pay. That's fair. Opponents say the state ignores voters and now wants to criminalize the backlash. I think that's fair, too. Half of you are nodding along right now. The other half are Googling real estate listings in Coeur d'Alene. For what it's worth, Idaho does have nice lakes. After 27 years of voters saying one thing and Olympia saying another, the state has stopped asking. They brought a tow truck instead. And that's the commentary for January 30th, 2026. Text us at 888-973-5476 or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
7:39 now. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the slowing coming down from the north end. No surprises for you guys, but we'll break it down next.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
For seniors, the new year is a good time to reassess finances. If you're struggling with bills, our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be a great way to ease your stress.
Seniors tell me all the time, we love our home, we love to stay here, but we just can't afford it anymore. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash to pay off your mortgage, pay off your debts, and maybe put some extra money in the bank. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let your home work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me. Never a sales pitch and never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage experts, the VA loan and debt consolidation experts too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe there are 7 steps that must be taken in preparation for a successful retirement. Retirement needs more than just a basic income plan. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
7:43. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
And it is Friday light out there. This is the one of the days of the week you probably get a little bit of a break out of the Revive I-5 nonsense that we're dealing with. I don't mean it's nonsense. I mean, the Ship Canal Bridge does need to get fixed, but you guys out of the north end are taking the brunt of it. And you got about a 50-minute trip, maybe a little under, from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Today for 405, the brake lights begin just a little bit before Canyon Park, but stop around 522. It's really not too bad in Totem Lake. For I-5, the brake lights are actually south of 145th today and then down through the U District, so it's not as bad as it could be. You know, about a 10 or 12-minute delay, which is way better than we're used to the other days of the week, so kind of take this one as a bonus and move on. Federal Way to Seattle is running right around 40 minutes. There are brake lights past the West Seattle Bridge. Northbound 405, Renton to Bellevue, we're looking at about 26, 27 minutes. Nothing really too severe. The S-curves are active, but by the time you're up to 30th, it's a pretty clean drive the rest of the way. Valley Freeway is still pretty good. There are brake lights in Sumner, but I mean, just kind of the congestion stuff, nothing super significant. 40 minutes or less on that entire corridor. Pierce County is quiet, so is Thurston. So all in all, we're in a pretty good spot. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, we're seeing some rain in spots this morning, but it should actually taper off for the afternoon hours, just mostly cloudy for your Friday afternoon. 52 the high today. Tomorrow morning, we'll probably wake up to some showers, but some sun breaks by afternoon and a warm day. 58 tomorrow. Sunday, back to rain at times in 53. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 47.
And coming up, G. Scott from the G. and Ursula stops by to talk about that one Super Bowl moment I don't want to talk about it, but I guess we'll have to relive it.
Great.
Coming up next on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about hockey. Don't you love a sport where it's almost fair game to throw off your gloves and bare knuckle it in that gray area? Hockey brings excitement, intensity, passion, often drinking. It's like a party with a puck. If you enjoy too many shots at the bar while watching slap shots on the ice, don't try to make a breakaway because the police won't just stonewall your goal. They're much more likely to throw you in that penalty box. And it won't be just a few minutes to think about what you did. Go ahead, enjoy cracking one open. Just don't overdo it. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com for your free private consultation. Hockey is one of the only sports where you can wrap around the goal and there's no out of bounds. But the roadway is a different story. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/plan for 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
Confidence with winter driving starts at Subaru of Puyallup. Find stress-free pricing and a stress-free experience at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
New CBS Sunday.
The Grammys, baby!
History will be made. Live, unfiltered, unexpected. Bigger than ever.
I was a ghost.
Bigger stars, bigger performances. Music's biggest night is getting bigger.
Now you see what all the hype is about.
Trevor Noah hosts the Grammy Awards live.
Anything is possible.
CBS Sunday and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Joining us from the G and Ursula show is G. Scott. Of course, G, you host a Reset podcast. I think we should just rip the Band-Aid off now.
What you want to talk about?
You know, it's been a few years. Seahawks, Pats, Super Bowl, and what happened?
Yeah.
Run the ball.
So I will tell you, I've had some over the last few days. It's not just the fans that are talking about 11 years ago right now. It's players that were on that team. So much so, I heard from one player that said that it might be rough for them watching the current Super Bowl that's about to happen because he just now realized the Seahawks and the New England Patriots have made him realize that he has not gotten over 11 years ago.
Real quick setup. What happened?
Well, Super Bowl 49. It's first down. We're at the 1 yard line, and the entire world, including myself and all Seahawk fans, just knew. You started high-fiving your mama, your daddy, and everybody because you know that number 24 is about to get the ball. And you're standing up and you watch it, and you say, what just happened? No, he didn't intercept it. So that's what happened, and I don't think a lot of people are over it, including some that played in it. So here we are today. Now, I'm here to find out DB, David Burbank, and what he had to say. DB?
Yeah, I mean, look, we all would have loved it if Marshawn ran it in, got the touchdown. There were 25 seconds left, one timeout. You're on the 1 yard line. It seems obvious that you would run it with Marshawn. Now, what we don't maybe remember quite as much about that year is in those very, very short yardage situations, while Marshawn was obviously one of the best backs in all of football, in those very short yard situations, he'd come up short a little bit.
On first down?
It was second down.
Teacher,
Hold on. Let me explain the circumstances again here.
Teacher, he had just ran for 4 yards the previous play.
Right. It is second down now. What are the Patriots expecting? They're obviously also expecting a run from Marshawn Lynch. They're going to stack the box. Why do you think there's so many Patriots defenders right there compressed in the middle? Why Malcolm Butler's right there able to intercept the ball? Now, again, one timeout left, second down. Say Marshawn runs the ball and he maybe doesn't quite get in. This is a good Patriots defense, by the way. If he doesn't get in, clock's ticking, you take one more timeout. After that, it's third down. Are you going to try to run the ball again? Are you going to try to pass the ball? If you try to run the ball again, it's then fourth down. You then can't stop the clock again because it's fourth down. You can't spike the ball. All I'm saying, and this is what I was arguing from the beginning, you have one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in football. Why is the play call crossing routes into very congested box? Why is it not? Maybe you do the read option, one of the best, David. One of the things that the Seahawks did best, and you have Russell roll out. You give him a lot of options. That's getting into the X's and O's a little too much.
I love you, but you're not selling it on me.
Yeah. G.
You know what that reminded me of? Hey, parents, for all the parents that have kids, you ever ask your kids to tell you, they're trying to tell you a story of what happened at school, and they're talking, and you just listening, and you just like, and then finally at the end, you say, oh, really? Oh, wow, that's crazy. To which I love my guy, David Burbank, and I was like, oh, wow, that's great. I like the theory.
I think what we've proven here is that we're not over it.
No. We're not over it. Hey, you know what? That's the point. No matter if it's David's theory, anybody's theory, at the end of the day,
it was rough.
It was rough, and some of us are not over it. And there's only one thing that can happen to make us all feel better.
Go win.
In 8 days, is that what we're talking about? In 8 days, go ahead and win it all. Is it 8 or 9? I can't.
9.
9 days. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll be down there next week, and I'll be trying to be on Radio Row and talking to some folks, and I'll be talking to you guys and talking about what's the action going on down there. So I'm looking forward to it. But I think we all feel pretty good. I think that we know that this team doesn't take this New England Patriots team for granted. And we also know that this Seahawks team probably had the hardest 5 games of anyone in the NFL. Rams, Panthers, Niners, Rams. That was their last 5 games.
Yeah. Here's what I love. Yeah. You know, usually I get the text messages after I say something hot on my commentaries.
Yeah.
David gets a little of that love now. Gets a little of that love.
I want to show you guys what the defensive line, 7 guys on the defensive line there.
Up
Where's Marshawn going? Is he going directly into the
I don't want to watch
the
that
defensive
again.
line? Hey, I'm sorry. I as someone who has had to watch this play over and over again because they always play it.
I want to take you back to 2005, that Seahawks team. And if you were watching back in 2005, you knew that when they ran Sean Alexander, everybody knew it was going to the left side, and it was going to go behind Hutch, and it was going to go behind Walter Jones. And guess what? There was literally nothing you could do about it. Sometimes you can just tell people what you're going to do, and then you do it, Donald Trump. All right, gotta go.
You may be excused. I respect your argument, David. I really do. But why didn't he run the ball?
Wait a minute. And then you're kicking me out.
Bye. G and Ursula coming up 9 to noon.
Sully, traffic.
We are looking at a 55-minute trip now from Everett into Bellevue. It's now 40 minutes out of Linwood. A little bit more action there than we have on I-5 southbound. 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle. 35 from Linwood. So 10 to 15-minute delays out of the north end, which is actually not too bad on this Friday compared to what we're normally getting. Federal Way to Seattle, a little over 40 minutes. All of that braking is right there at the West Seattle Bridge. Northbound 405, the Renton S curves are active, but we're under 30 minutes. to make the drive there, and it's really under 40 all the way from Puyallup to Renton, so that's really good. A little bit of eastbound slowing on 16 past Cheney Stadium. That's just the volume trying to get to I-5 and Tacoma by 8 a.m. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoff gear, custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store, online. Enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
Well, the rain should be ending by afternoon. 52 the high for tomorrow. So far, tomorrow looks nice. Showers in the morning, but some clearing for the afternoon. It's 45 in Seattle right now.
And coming up, more of the day's top stories, and we'll check in with consumer man Herb Weisbaum at 8:15.
What's my voice sound? Pretty good?
Better than I thought it would. The John Curley Show.
I was really trying to work with my diaphragm.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I was screaming as everybody else was screaming, and all of a sudden the muscles in my neck tightened up and it shut off blood in my head. I thought I almost passed out. I was so close.
What if you died?
Well, I would have been paying no attention to me. Like, get up, Dad.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hi, Ursula Royteen here. There's a reason I send so many people to Carter Subaru and why I am a repeat customer. They are Seattle's only Subaru dealership, and they have the largest selection in the state with over 700 Subarus in stock. Right now, get a 2025 Subaru Outback with 3.9% financing. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 1/31/26.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Peter King. Journalist Don Lemon has been arrested in Los Angeles nearly 2 weeks after he entered a church in Minneapolis to cover protesters angry about the immigration crackdown there. His arrest was ordered and announced by Attorney General Pam Bondi. Here's correspondent Lilia Luciano.
First, a court here in Minnesota had refused to charge him. A judge did not, sign an order for his arrest. Then it was taken to an appellate court, and the appellate court also rejected. And now we know that a grand jury was paneled, presented, I presume, evidence for probable cause, and that led to his arrest.
Lemon's attorney says he was just doing his job as a journalist. Senate Democrats and the White House appear to have a deal to avoid a partial government shutdown while only providing temporary funding for Homeland Security and specifically ICE. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns has more on changes that they want.
Among the items that they want to see, ending roving patrols of agents, requiring them to wear body cameras and take their face masks off, also requiring a uniform code of conduct and tightening the rules around the use of warrants.
How widespread is the latest wave of the country's big chill? The feels-like temperature in Duluth is minus 21. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
Cold could make its way all the way down to the southern tip of Florida. Right through the weekend, extreme cold alerts are in effect compared to what normally would be your temperature for this time of year. This is going to affect over 200 million people right through the weekend.
Orlando is likely to see its coldest temperatures in 16 years, with a low of 25 early Sunday. A judge says murder suspect Luigi Mangione will not face the death penalty when he goes on to trial and charges that he shot and killed the head of United Healthcare in 2024. This after a man posing as a federal agent was arrested with a pizza cutter and a fork, trying to spring him from a New York City jail. CBS's Elaine Quijano.
36-year-old Mark Anderson of Minnesota has been charged for allegedly impersonating a federal officer. According to court documents, on Wednesday night, Anderson approached uniformed officers in the lobby of the jail, claiming he was an FBI agent in possession of paperwork signed by a judge, authorizing the release of a specific inmate. A federal law enforcement source tells CBS News that inmate was Mangione.
President Trump has long been a critic of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, whose term expires this year. In a social media post, he says he's nominating Wall Street veteran Kevin Warsh to replace him. Warsh previously served as a Fed governor and supports lower interest rates that Trump wants. On Wall Street, Dow is down 278 points and the NASDAQ down 117. This is
Follow and listen to CBS Mornings on the go on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
8:03. Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
And we are looking at a pretty average Friday. It's Fast Friday, Fresh Friday, whatever you want to call it, Friday light. The one exception really is the drive from Linwood on down. With the loss of the express lanes, even when there are few over us out there, it's, you're still going to see the backups. We've got about 45 to 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with 35 of that from Linwood. So about a 10 or 12 minute delay. Nothing super significant. You can get through it. Northbound I-5 does have a few more brake lights past the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. We've got about a 40-minute trip to make it from Federal Way to Seattle. Valley Freeway, also about 40 minutes, maybe a little under at this point to make that drive. Then Renton to Bellevue, we've got about 25 to 28 minutes. Lake bridges are quiet, and the rest of the map is doing really well. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
At 8:04, welcome to the Friday, January 30th, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
The city of Seattle's been ordered to pay more than $30 million after a jury found it liable in the 2020 killing of 16-year-old Antonio Mays Jr.
Mays was shot and killed inside the Capitol Hill Organized Protest Zone, CHOP, that summer. And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with the latest.
Mays' father spoke with KIRO 7 TV after the verdict.
To know my son and to know that he was strong, proud, black, positive, and big-hearted, kind-hearted, and hard-working, that's the kind of, memory that should resonate when they think about my son. Somebody that when you see him coming, he cares about you.
When Mays was shot in the chop zone and witnesses called 911, paramedics refused to enter that area. After deliberating for 12 days, the jury in the case found the city was negligent in its emergency response. Well, the shooting happened right after the city had also abandoned its East Precinct. A spokesperson for the city attorney's office says they consider Mays' death to be tragic, and they will assess the city's options going forward. That could include an appeal of that $30 million award by the jury. Coming up at 9 on the G and Ursula show, May's father will be here in studio. It's an interview you will definitely want to hear.
All right. Thanks for that update, Luke. It's 8:05 now. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson has announced how she wants the city to deal with federal immigration authorities.
Wilson is directing Seattle police to verify reports of immigration enforcement activity and to document it with in-car and body-worn video.
I understand the anxiety that a lot of folks, especially in our immigrant communities, are feeling right now. And at the city, we're going to do everything we can to keep people safe.
The plan bars federal agents from using city-owned property for civil immigration enforcement. City plans to invest $4 million in community and legal support for immigrant families. Wilson says at this point, there is no sign of a sudden surge in ICE or Border Patrol activity. Frank Lindsay, KIRO Newsradio.
Well, they're calling it a shutdown. Today, activists are asking people to stay home from work and withhold spending. Dozens of businesses will stay closed. They say it's an act of protest against federal immigration crackdowns.
A shift in how King County counts its homeless population is drawing criticism. Instead of a one-night visual count, the King County Regional Homelessness Authority is now asking people to voluntarily report their homelessness over 2 weeks. In exchange, they get a $25 gift card. Andrea Suarez with the nonprofit group We Heart Seattle tells KIRO News Radio's John Curley she's not comfortable with this new method.
They are not required to provide a social security number or ID, so it is subject to some integrity issues.
Homelessness authorities say the new method can help surveyors get more information about why people are unhoused, as well as a more accurate count. King County's annual point-in-time count is going on now through February 6.
Washington is a step closer to a tougher DUI standard. Senate Bill 5067, which would lower the blood alcohol limit from 0.08 to 0.05, passed the Senate this week. Democrat John Lovick is the prime sponsor.
This legislation is about community safety, and it's about changing the culture of driving in our state.
Republican Jeff Holey, who like Lovick used to be a police officer, voted no.
My argument with this bill is we're at the point of diminishing returns, and we are addressing people that are not impaired.
That measure now moves to the House.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
This is the last hour of the show in January.
Isn't that wild?
This month has flown by, and it's Blue Friday.
Yep.
January 30th.
Tomorrow will be Blue Saturday.
Blue Saturday. Oh, man.
And Sunday will be
Blue Sunday.
We're all blue until Super Bowl in my house.
Well, welcome to this hour of the show. I'm Charlie Harger. That's Manda Factor.
Chris Sullivan is here with our Traffic on the Threes. Producer David Burbank is here in the studio. And you are getting support on the text line for your theory.
One person who admits that they don't know a ton about football. So that's, I'll take it, certainly.
You were so passionate when you were on with G, and if people were watching the YouTube live feed, like when we went to commercial, you were pulling up your laptop and showing everybody, look, Marshawn could not have possibly gotten by Patriots.
Were you in debate in school?
Yeah.
Because it was convincing, but I still think they should have run it.
No, I wasn't in debate, but as the youngest of 7, I had to do a lot of fighting for just getting my voice heard. So that's what you heard in that.
All right. Be sure to check out that argument in the podcast when it comes out a little later today.
We support you, David.
Well, coming up, we have consumer man Herb Weisbaum, who gives us some tips for tax season and where to find the easiest and best method for filing.
We'll also get you ready for the weekend with KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden and his weekend planner.
Okay, it is Blue Friday. 9 days to go before the Seahawks take on the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And Seahawks GM John Schneider says the Pats will be tough competition. He spoke to 710 Seattle Sports.
Josh is calling plays. They're like a chameleon offensively. That's similar with all the different personnel groups and everything. But no, this is a team that their defensive front's awesome. Their DBs are awesome. damn good linebackers, two highly explosive runners. They have like four really good receivers. You know, the quarterback can score from anywhere on the field. I mean, you know, big, good athlete that can, you know. So, you know, I'm not saying Tom Brady can't score from anywhere on the field. This guy can. When he can throw it, he can freaking take off. I mean, so my point is, like, you know, we started today with the presentation to the players, Mike and his coaching staff, like what they look like and what we're up against.
Schneider tells the Wyman and Bob show they're focused.
You know, the thing I'll say is that the guys are, everybody did such a great job, Chuck and his staff, and then, you know, Billy Nays and Sarah and Jeremy Young, just like, okay, getting everything all set before the weekend. And then, you know, okay, if we win this game, bam, like, here go the emails and this is what it's going to look like. And then all the Zoom calls on Monday and getting everything all set so that, you know, all the family distractions, it's real, you know. Yeah. The outside noise and the distractions can be put aside so that, like, you know, we're getting a lot of great work done this week. And then, you know, you get on that plane, you go down there, you know, we have this stuff on Monday, and then they can focus on the game the rest of the week.
Basically, I wanted an excuse to play this soundbite one more time. Schneider was asked about Mike McDonald's comments after winning the NFC Championship Sunday night. Let's play that sound from Fox Sports just one more time.
I'm speechless. I'll tell you what. This is the power of 12 as one, man. This is a heck of a job. When you do it together, this is what you can do. How about the 12s?
Now coming into the season, you were an afterthought to the Rams, to the 49ers. How did it feel to go through both of those teams to earn your trip to the Super Bowl?
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
We did not care. Yeah, Schneider liked it.
It's just all about us. We haven't, you know, there's the advanced guys and everybody in analytics and the coaches do a great job of preparing for what our opponent's going to look like. But it's truly about, like, again, Mike's done a great job of just keeping it about us. Like, yeah, like, no, it's like how we operate. You know, if you can limit those self-inflicted wounds, then, you know, we should have a chance. And that's held up all season.
I also wanted an excuse to play this. Schneider says the Seahawks are a team full of dogs. What's a dog?
Yeah, I think it's that player that, you know, could play you in a parking lot or, you know, play you like in a beautiful stadium, you know. Right. Doesn't matter like where you're playing. He's just going to kick your ass.
You can be sure to tune into the Super Bowl right here on KIRO News Radio. Steve Rabel will have our call.
Cannot wait.
9 days away.
All right, it's 8:12. Check on the weather now. Here's KIRO 7's Nick Allard.
We have some showers moving through now, really just an area of rain that'll be around through about mid-afternoon. That rain will then taper off to showers, and I expect it to be a calmer evening. A little blustery at times with this rain and mild temps in the 50s. Tomorrow, I expect to see a little bit of light rain early just for the first half of the day, and then it tapers off and it'll be dry for the afternoon. You can expect to see mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies and warm weather in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Sunday's going to have some rain, though, a little cooler in the low 50s. Then Monday, just a few lingering showers. We dry out. Rest of your work week right now does look drier and warmer with more sun and highs around 60 degrees.
Right now, cloudy, a little bit drippy, and 46 in Seattle.
All right. You know, drippy also is a way of describing someone like Chris Sullivan.
That wouldn't be very nice, Charlie.
We didn't know drippy.
The term is dripped out.
Dripped out.
What is dripped out?
You got some drip.
I don't know what that means.
You're like a dog. You're Chris Sullivan watching traffic for us. I thought you have a ninth grade girl. You should know this.
I'm not onto that one yet.
Yeah, my drip is and fit basically from Costco.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is super dripped out. Yeah. On the roads, not too drippy. I mean, we got about a 10 or 12 minute delay on southbound 5 or 405 through the drives out of Linwood. But again, by most days' standards, with the new lane configurations, it's not bad. I mean, 35 minutes from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. Behind schedule a little bit. Northbound I-5 does have heavier brakes past the West Seattle Bridge now into downtown, or actually from Michigan up past the scene. So we're looking at about 40 minutes now from Federal Way to Seattle, maybe a little over. Do have brake lights now at the north end of 167, right around 180th, but overall we're under 40 minutes to make the drive, Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's under a half an hour. The lake bridges are quiet. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
Coming up on 8:15, the 2026 tax filing season is underway, and there's a good chance that changes to the tax code will affect your return for the better.
Consumerman Herb Weisbaum, contributing editor at checkbook.org, is here with what you need to know while the changes. Herb?
Yeah, whether you're dripped or not, this is important information.
Did you know what dripped was?
Not a clue.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I only have a dog, and he doesn't talk that kind of stuff. Anyway, this is all the result of the one big, beautiful bill, so-called, that was passed in July, and it did more than just make routine adjustments for inflation that normally takes place every year. It extended some expiring tax breaks. It created significantly new ones. It expanded several tax credits and boosted deductions. And many of these provisions didn't kick in until January 1st, but some were retroactive and apply to the tax return that you're now preparing that's due for April 15th. According to the Nonprofit Tax Foundation, the nonpartisan, I should say, tax foundation, they estimate that the major changes for 2025 tax year will lead to an average cut of about $610. And by their estimates, it will bring the average refund from roughly $3,050, $3,050, closer to $3,800. So it's going to go up a significant amount of money for people between tax year 2024 and 2025. Keep in mind, though, this is probably a one-year bump because the withholding wasn't adjusted to match the bill because it didn't get passed till July. So the withholding was changed starting in January and your paycheck and your pay stubs. So it may not be quite as big a situation for you next year, but this year, enjoy.
So you're writing about this in Checkbook, and one of the things you say is there are 3 different types of deductions, including overtime pay?
Yeah, there's 3 big ones. First of all, Troy, the standard deduction change, which is the one that almost everybody takes. 90% of taxpayers take the standard deduction. And rather than just indexing for inflation, Congress added 5% to this. So they gave it a really big bump. That means the standard deduction for married couples filing jointly is now $31,500. It's $15,750 for single taxpayers, and married individuals filing separately, $23,625 for heads of households. That's going to affect probably most taxpayers in this country. 90% of the taxpayers or so will take advantage of this. And there's also a new deduction of up to $6,000 for individual taxpayers 65 and older or who are blind on top of their standard deductions. So that's huge. One of the first ones of those 3 that you mentioned that are new this year is a new deduction for overtime pay. Of course, you guys don't get that because you're so highly paid with your salary to begin with. But for overtime pay, this is worth up to $12,500 for individuals, $25,000 for joint filers, whether you itemize or not. It only applies to the extra portion. So the 1/2 portion of the time and a half that you get, that's what it applies for. So if you're making $30, your rate is $20 an hour and you get $30 an hour for overtime, it's a $10 bump that you're going to get the tax advantage for. But this is going to be huge for a lot of people who make overtime pay.
What about workers who make tips?
I'll give you a tip. No, for tip workers, the deduction can benefit those who are both self-employed and get tips and work for somebody who get tips. These have to be qualified tips. You have to be in one of 68 occupations listed by the IRS as customarily and regularly involving tips. The list includes everything from massage therapist to hairdresser to dealer at a gambling casino. It's a wide range of, but if you got to be one of those 68, and the maximum deduction for cash tips received by employees in 2025 is $25,000. That is, again, a promise from the Trump administration, no tax on tips.
And then you have people who bought a new car last year.
Yeah, if you bought a car and took out a car loan, interest of up to $10,000 paid on a new car loan originating in 2025 can now be deducted even for those who don't itemize, which is really a big deal, provided the vehicle underwent final assembly in the U.S., was purchased for personal use, and meets a few other eligibility requirements.
But that is a brand new car, not just new to you.
Right. You can't lease it, and you can't. It can't be a used vehicle. It's got to be a new car that you took a loan out for, bought and took a loan out for in 2025 last year.
Okay, so I've always taken the standard deduction, but there might be a higher deduction for people who itemize and they deduct the state and local taxes.
Yeah, a lot of people complained about this because of the property taxes going up and the income taxes. We don't have that here, luckily, but it's still many people here can take advantage of that. Single filers and married couples who itemize can deduct up to $40,000 in state and local income taxes, real estate taxes, personal property taxes, and some people keep track of their sales taxes. The deduction is $20,000 for married couples filing separately. This went up from $10,000 to the $40,000 for the single filers and married couples. This is going to be big for some people who are higher income or have really high property taxes because we know what's going on with those around here.
All right, show me the money. What's the best way to file to get that refund fast?
You want to do it electronically, and the IRS says if you do it electronically and don't have any errors on your return, they should have the refund to you within 21 days. Keep in mind that because of a presidential directive, there is no more returning via check, no more check refunds. So you have to have it directly deposited. You can choose up to 3 different ways: a bank account, a savings account, a prepaid card, or a cash app. So you have to have that noted in your tax return. Don't assume you're going to get a check or expect to get a check. No more checks. It's got to come back to you electronically.
You're saying that the average return is going to be north of $3,000. That might be a very happy April for a lot of people, Herb.
$3,800. But remember, if that's how much money you're getting back, that's a loan for free that you gave to Uncle Sam. If you change your withholding, you can have that money all year long and buy yourself some more Seahawks outfits.
Oh, I like your thinking.
What a great
Herb.
idea.
Yeah, well, I know we'll have you on with us next Friday, Herb, but we had you, I think, kind of give us good luck last Friday. Can we get a Go Hawks out of you?
I got to get pom-poms or something. Yes, you can read all this at checkbook.org, and I have links to the IRS and how to file for free and all kinds of stuff you want. And let me get myself revved up. Go Hawks!
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's the best one yet, Herb. Best one yet.
Very good.
That was lit, whatever the name. What was it? That was fit. What was the I'm supposed to be? Drawn.
Dripped.
What was the
Drip.
Yeah. That was drip.
You are so dripped.
Spritzed is what I am.
Drippy Herb Weisbaum on Seattle's Morning News.
Nice
Thank
to
you,
see
Herb.
you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend.
You too. Okay, well, the look is drippy for the Seahawks for Super Bowl 60. The uniform matchup is set.
What do I tell you about my goal every day when I wake up?
Learn something new.
I do. I learned like 3 things today already. Important stuff, too.
That they shouldn't have run the ball? Was that one of the things? Oh, my goodness.
Seahawks are going to be wearing all blue for the game, helmets, jerseys, and pants. This was rumored earlier this week. It's official now. They have won 70 out of 100 games with that color combination. The Patriots will wear all white. They went 5-0 this season in white jerseys and pants.
Okay, I'm glad they're wearing pants.
I was just thinking the same thing. White jerseys and white pants.
It's time to check in with Chris Sullivan. He has the traffic forecast for us.
And we all know the only reason the Patriots won last week is because no one could see them in the snow. I mean, geez,
100%.
Their uniforms completely disappeared. Shouldn't be a problem in Santa Clara. Looking at the roads right now, we do have some unusual braking late in the day on northbound I-5 as you make your way from the north end of Boeing Field up past the West Seattle Bridge. So we're up over 40 minutes now to go from Federal Way to Seattle. So a little bit behind schedule. I'm looking for something there, north of the Michigan Curve, right before the West Seattle Bridge. Haven't found it yet. The Valley Freeway, we got about a 40-minute trip for you. Brake lights there are at the north end. And then rented to Bellevue, still under a half an hour, so that's great. We are losing a minute or two heading northbound, getting past 520 through the Ship Canal Bridge construction zone. Heading the other direction through the primary commute, we've got about 35 minutes from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue. It's about a 10 or 12-minute delay for you guys. Across the lake, we're still doing okay. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, the rain we're seeing this morning will dry up. We should be dry for the afternoon hours, 52, maybe even some peaks of sunshine. For tomorrow, again, showers in the morning, but some clearing for the afternoon and warm tomorrow, 58. Sunday, look for rain at times in 53. Right now, it's cloudy and 46 in Seattle.
Friendly wager between the mayors. We'll hear what Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is betting against the mayor of Boston over the Super Bowl.
Also, we'll hear from Representative Dan Griffey about some of the big bills being discussed in the state legislature.
That's coming up here on Seattle's Morning News.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
KIRO Newsradio congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
The modern-day Bambino, Cal Raleigh.
We can't wait. From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
New CBS Sunday.
The Grammys, baby!
History will be made. Live, unfiltered, unexpected. bigger than ever. I was a ghost. Bigger stars, bigger performances. Music's biggest night is getting bigger.
Now you see what all the hype is about.
Trevor Noah hosts the Grammy Awards live.
Anything is possible.
CBS Sunday and streaming on Paramount Plus.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Ugh. Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What do the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years.
We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 8:30. What started with a traffic stop for a car with no license plates in Tukwila this morning ended with a chase, an officer-involved shooting, and an arrest for multiple felonies.
Police say the driver ignored commands to stop, took off. Officers used a pit maneuver to hit the fleeing vehicle and disable it. At one point, an officer did fire their gun. No one was injured. Investigators found the car was stolen. They've booked the driver on a laundry list of charges, including driving on a suspended license and DUI. Tukwila International Boulevard is temporarily closed in the 142,000 block for the accident investigation.
It's 8:31. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is making good on her bet with the mayor of Los Angeles after the Seahawks beat the Rams on Sunday.
Wilson is in Washington, D.C. right now for the Conference of Mayors, and KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more on that and the latest Seahawks news.
All right, Charlie, but first we've got to drop the beat.
Turn down for what?
The Hawks started back at practice full tilt yesterday. Sam Darnold did not practice, still dealing with that oblique injury. The Hawks will fly out Sunday and land in San Jose. That's also where the team hotel is. Media Day is coming up then the next day on Monday evening. We're going to have a crew there for all that. GM John Schneider says the players are blocking out all those distractions, however.
We're getting a lot of great work done this week, and then, you get on that plane, you go down there, we have this stuff on Monday, and then they can focus on the game the rest of the week.
All right, so that's the latest news for the Hawks. Now to Mayor Katie Wilson. She explained to me she and the L.A. Mayor, Karen Bass, did a reverse bet.
In retrospect, it's a little strange because we won. So I'm not sure why the winning team is the one sending something to the losing team, but apparently that's the way we did the bet.
That's how they did it. In this case, Mayor Wilson sent Bass a packet of Boon Boona Coffee, which is a local Eritrean coffee company dedicated to creating positive social impact and great coffee, of course. So now there are negotiations going on concerning a bet with Mayor Michelle Wu from Boston.
There's been some talk of Dungeness crab and lobster. Also some talk about, wearing each other's jerseys while riding public transit.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. But back to speaking of coffee, because we're still getting to know the mayor a little bit here. I asked her, what is her go-to coffee order?
I'm really boring. I usually get a split shot latte.
And if you don't know what that is, I had to look it up too. That's like getting 2 shots of espresso from a single dose of coffee. So apparently you get 2 espresso flavors in one drink. Sounds pretty good. And the final question for Mayor Wilson. Are you ready?
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Let's see if we can handle it. Remember, Wilson gave LA's mayor a basket of local coffee. Well, here's my question.
I gotta ask, why not Starbucks coffee?
Well, I just love supporting our small local roasters.
If you know, you know. And there you have it.
So this reverse bet thing, I'm going to go really deep. I think only Sully in this room is going to know what I'm talking about. But the movie Stripes, where John Candy is being taught how to play poker.
Here we go.
And the guy goes, he completely, mixes up the rules. John Candy is winning, but the guy convinces him, no, you're not winning. I think this is what Karen Bass pulled on Mayor Katie Wilson. Pulled one over her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole package, a basket of coffee.
You got to pay me.
I've never heard of a reverse bet before. But okay.
So thank you, Luke.
Yeah, go Hawks.
Appreciate your work.
Go Hawks.
Talk about Hawks next week, all week with Luke Ducey. Sully, you are at the traffic desk.
And if the Super Bowl were in Chicago, I'd have to make your bunk. But we're not. It's not. It's
Right.
in Santa Clara, so I have to make your. Yeah, exactly.
You're the big toe of the
I
newsroom.
get to paint the fence. All that,
Okay,
The Tom Sawyer.
traffic.
Okay, I'm with you.
Hey, Sully, traffic.
know. Oh, sorry.
Hey,
The
Sully.
drive reminds me of Francis right now. Looking at westbound 518, we do have brake lights approaching the Highway 99 corridor there. It looks like we have a crash right at the airport there on westbound 518, so that's why it's slow coming away from the I-5 corridor. Give yourself a couple extra minutes there. Other than that, the rest of the map looks great. Our good friend Adam was out there driving. Tells me he couldn't find anything other than volume just northbound I-5 as you work your way past the West Seattle Bridge. Still have about 42-minute drive to go from Federal Way to Seattle. We've added 5 minutes to the trip out of Linwood to get down to Seattle or Bellevue. Both of those travel times about 40 minutes, so that gives you about a 15-minute delay. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoff gear, custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online. Enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
Well, the rain we're seeing this morning will dry up for the afternoon. We'll just be mostly cloudy for the bulk of the day, 52. Tomorrow, same deal, showers early on, but some clearing in the afternoon. And tomorrow will be warm, 58 for our high. Sunday, rain at times in 53. It's 46 in Seattle right now.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Well, earlier in the show, we spoke with Republican Representative Dan Griffey about some of the more controversial bills being debated right now in the legislature.
We started by asking Representative Griffey about Senate Bill 5312, a piece of legislation proposed last year that would reduce sex offender registration and supervision requirements for people convicted through net nanny sting operations.
I did a commentary on this bill yesterday, and Representative Griffey had this to say.
We can't do this. I worked all last session to defeat it. I'm so happy that it's not going to go this year. I don't believe it's going to go. We'll keep a hard eye on it, but thank you so much for keeping the public, informed of this. It is very important. We cannot do this.
Why is the idea still alive?
Well, I mean, there are some. I talked to a group of parents that were upset that their kids, unfortunately, acted in a monstrous way. When you're a family member, you have, I think, an ability to make excuses for the terrible behavior that your family members engage in. Every member of my family knows that we won't make excuses for terrible behavior. We'll work through them. And all of my kids have been brought up that way. And I think we should all think that way, especially when it comes to these horrible crimes with young children.
One of the other bills we asked Representative Griffey about surrounded revisions to the Keeping Families Together Act. Griffey was not optimistic.
Well, I don't think the majority party is going to do the right thing, and we're going to still see, we're going to, Rep. Couture and myself will probably be on your show again, and we'll be saying, unfortunately, the death report from DSHS, those under the supervision of their agency, is going to go up again. Unfortunately, there are people that have a monkey on their back of addiction that makes them unable to parent effectively. Our proposal is we separate the two. We treat the two. We treat them well. We rebuild their lives, and we hope for reunification. I mean, that is our absolute goal, but we should separate the kids, and we should make sure that we don't have more child fatality statistics. We can do something about it. It is just devastating that the agency and the state will not do the right thing.
We also asked Representative Griffey about the income tax proposal lawmakers have been working on in private, which Charlie obtained this week. Here was Representative Griffey's analysis.
It's kind of a tax on $500,000 income right now. Like if a spouse makes $500,000, a little over $500,000, and then the other spouse makes it. I mean, the way they're portraying it or putting it out there, it's just a flat income tax with a flat deduction. I think that's some trickery, and it's totally not what they told us in the beginning. My problem is there's two choices we can take this year. Is we can make some hard choices and see if there are efficiencies in government that we can make, or we can do a highly controversial income tax and chase capital out of the state. And I'll tell you, the capital is leaving the state of Washington. We just heard in Transpo yesterday, we passed a luxury tax on aircraft. We have a huge aircraft and aviation presence in Washington State. It makes up a huge part of our economy. But large businesses that headquarter fleets of jet aircraft in Washington State are going to move them out and have been moving them out at an alarming rate. I mean, millions and millions of dollars of economic activity leaving, because one purveyor said up to 45% of his annual income would be dedicated to paying this tax. Get that, 45% of his income. We have to be more business friendly. We cannot allow capital flight that is inevitably going to happen.
Republican Representative Dan Griffey here on Seattle's Morning News earlier today.
And of course, we continue to reach out to members of the legislature from both political parties, and we'll be bringing you their points of view throughout the legislative session.
All right, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the westbound slowing, or make that southbound slowing on 405 approaching I-5 in Tukwila. We'll break it down for you next.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
A lot of businesses are looking ahead for guidance and the right partners in the new year, and the right bank can make a difference, right, Brad?
That's right, Dave. And WaFd Bank can help with business checking, express loans, lines of credit, business credit cards, and so much more. WaFd Bank is also an SBA preferred lender, so you can grow with confidence.
What about when you need help with something? In this digital age, does WaFd have an actual person available?
Absolutely. Our friendly and knowledgeable local business bankers are ready and waiting to help you with whatever your business might need. From day one, our bankers get to know you and your business to build a strong foundation for future success. This especially helps when it's time to apply for loans and to spot gaps in your business operations, so we can recommend the service that would be most helpful.
And to learn more, visit wafedbank.com or visit your local branch. Discover why they were awarded Best Bank multiple years in a row by numerous financial publications. WaFd Bank, built for business. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Loan subject to credit approval. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there. It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity, imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. DayandNight.net.
8:43 now. Time to check traffic with Chris Sullivan.
Well, the crash we have right before 99, or the exit to the airport on westbound 518, has cleared off to the right shoulder, and so we're getting better from I-5 over to the scene. Problem is, this backed us up out of Renton now, so going southbound 405 from 167 over to I-5 is going to be behind schedule by a couple of minutes, so just be prepared for that. The I-5 corridor, Federal Way to Seattle, still running around 42, 43 minutes, with the heaviest spot of the brakes there right after the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Renton to Bellevue's not bad, under a half an hour. Valley Freeway's under 40 minutes, so that's great. Lake bridges are quiet. coming down from the north end, we're still hanging around 35, 40 minutes from Linwood down to Seattle or Bellevue. That's about a 10 or 12-minute delay over what you normally expect. And we do have a minimal backup on northbound I-5 approaching the construction zone there at 520. This report brought to you by the Tacoma Home and Garden Show. The Tacoma Home and Garden Show presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For information and discount tickets, go to TacomaHomeandGardenShow.com.
Well, the rain should end in the afternoon hours. 52 our high for today as we wrap up the week. Tomorrow, look for showers early on, but some clearing in the afternoon. A little peak of sunshine here and there, and 58 tomorrow. For Sunday, look for the rain to return at times, 53. Overnight lows in the mid-40s. Right now, it's 46 in Seattle.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden stops by. It is, after all, Friday, then Saturday, Sunday.
What?
That's on the way on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today, and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
New CBS Sunday.
The Grammys, baby!
History will be made. Live, unfiltered, unexpected. Woo! Bigger than ever.
I was a ghost.
Bigger stars, bigger performances. Music's biggest night is getting bigger.
Now you see what all the hype is about.
Trevor Noah hosts the Grammy Awards live.
Anything is possible.
CBS Sunday and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
Amanda, this is why we love Paul Holden.
Oh, many reasons.
Yeah, among them is that you are always here no matter what to make this Friday late morning hit with us. We appreciate that. You rode your bike here in the rain.
You're soaked, man.
Yeah, I got in a little late today. They're doing some maintenance at my apartment complex, so it just throws me off, and I left a little bit late. So I felt like the Postal Service today, rain or shine, I was getting here. You know, rain, sleet, snow.
You are absolutely soaked.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from. I don't want to burn or any of our engineers seeing us. But it's okay. I had to tell you about all the cool stuff going on this weekend. I wouldn't miss it.
Thank you.
Well, let's get started.
Let's dive in.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
Okay, so you know how everyone... Actually, I think Luke told us a little bit about someone that did just this. You know how sometimes when a team makes a big postseason run, you might go get a tattoo to celebrate the occasion?
Sure.
Well, this is going to be the perfect weekend for that down in Tacoma because they got the Tacoma Tattoo Expo, and that is going to have hundreds of artists there for you to be able to book appointments with. They are going to have all sorts of different looks that you can get the perfect piece for you. Any tattoos in the room other than myself?
Yeah, I've got a few.
Okay, yeah.
I think,
yes.
Paul and I do. Wait, do either of you three have any?
No, I'm too old for that.
Yeah, it was quite the shock when I told my parents that I had a tattoo. My mom called me at 2 a.m, and she was not happy with me. But anyway, so if you want to get in on the fun, if you're thinking maybe getting a Seahawks tattoo, this might be the weekend for it. But what's actually pretty cool about this is they're going to be live competitions that's also going to be up on the big screen so you can check out. But if tattoos aren't your thing and you want to warm up, someone like me that's soaked, you might want to head over to Fremont because it's the Fremont Soupocalypse.
I love this.
Yes, 16 restaurants are going to be serving up soups, chowders, and stews throughout the neighborhood. They got a full list if you just look up Soupocalypse, Fremont Soupocalypse. It'll take you to the website. I also got a link on mynorthwest.com. But if you go to 8 spots, you can get some super swag at Triangle Spirits because they're doing a cool little passport program. So each place you go to, you get a stamp there. So a day like today, perfect soup day. Even if the sun breaks a little bit, it's still a little bit chilly, but it's been moderately warm this week here as
sure
well.
Is.
Saturday at the Wing Luke Museum, it is the Lunar New Year Family Fair. It's a day full of fun that starts with an outdoor lion dance and speaking program. That's free and open to the public. But if you are interested in celebrating this, including checking out all the stuff that's going on inside the museum, including games, crafts, and a Zodiac animal scavenger hunt, you'll need to reserve a ticket to get into the museum. And this is where I need a bit of my locals' help.
Okay.
Here. How big is the matchup between the Seattle Thunderbirds and the Everett Silvertips?
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Where is it? Because if you're up in Everett, you got all those dang cowbells. If you're down in Kent, there's just this intense.
Yeah, I was seeing the buzz around it.
Silvertips.
It's going to be at Climate Pledge, so it's on the big stage, and it's going to be at Saturday with puck drop at 6:05. Tickets are still available, so if you, I know everyone's got a different big game on the mind, but if you're looking to scratch that sports itch, that is going to be at Climate Pledge.
Have you been to a WHL game?
No, it seems like a ton of fun.
Oh man, a lot of fun.
Didn't you just go to one, Sully? With
yeah,
Ted?
I was there instead of the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He said with a
no,
smile
I take
on
that
his
back.
face.
No, the divisional round. Sorry.
There you go. The less exciting one there. But okay, this one I know this one's a bit of a little bit further out for folks. But I always love to bring up. I think the Pacific Northwest's mascot here, Sasquatch, is being celebrated at Squatch Fest, and that is going to be at the Cowlitz County Fairgrounds. And does anyone have a good Sasquatch call?
I have been working on it. I'm not ready. It's still workshopping.
I give it to you, but I've had a cold for 2.5 weeks.
I was going to say, Sully's been doing it off mic a bunch where he clears his throat.
It sounds like it.
Well, if you are one that is one with the cryptids there and you're feeling like going up for an adventure and checking out the Sasquatch Calling Contest, arts and crafts for the kids, plus local beer, wine, and cider, Squatch Fest is Saturday and Sunday at the Cowlitz County Fairgrounds. But there are a bunch of shows like the Boat Show, there's the Washington Sportsman Show, Tacoma Home and Garden Show. I got details about all that on mynorthwest.com in case you're looking to plan ahead for your spring or summer.
You might have missed it a little earlier. We decided as a show we were all going to go out squatching.
Would you like to come?
Okay, yeah, of course.
So you or Sully, you need to be learning the Squatch call. So
Hey, I'm bringing the tree knocker.
I can.
Okay.
Come on, I've actually got one.
What is a tree knocker?
Well, that's how they communicate.
Yeah.
You whack a tree to try to. Yeah, come on, seriously, you don't know that's how they communicate?
One of my former co-hosts said you can't spell Manda without duh.
I'll bring in my Squatch. I'll bring it in on Monday.
Yeah,
We
all
gotta
right.
plan this. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Paul, thank you as always.
Of course,
Go
happy to
dry
be here.
off. Did you bring some clothes?
I did.
Good.
It's time to check in and get one last report from Sully at the traffic desk.
And we finally calmed down on southbound 405, westbound 518 through the Tukwila area after this crash we had at 99 there approaching the airport. It's off to the right shoulder and not really causing any backup anymore. Northbound I-5 still struggling a little bit as we get past the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Still have about a 40-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle, which is a really good travel time. Northbound 405, the Renton S-curves are easing off. Back under 25 minutes to make the drive, which is great. And behind that, only 35 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. Coming down from the north end, still have about 40 minutes from Linwood to Seattle, about 35 from Linwood to Bellevue. Brake lights are getting better even there. So all in all, we kind of made it through the storm today, but we're back at it again next week. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Our forecast, we are seeing rain around the Puget Sound area this morning, but it should dry out by afternoon. 52, still staying cloudy. Tomorrow looks nice by afternoon. You might wake up to a few light showers, but some sun breaks and 58 tomorrow. Then we're going to cloud up and see more steady rain once again on Sunday with a high of 53. Showers heading into the first part of next week. Right now it is cloudy and 46 in Seattle.
Okay, I'm sorry I made that up, Amanda.
What's that?
I said duh when you said I don't know what a door or a tree knocker is.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it either.
What? You just threw me under the bus.
What? And you're from the Northwest?
I feel really bad.
Come on,
You
man.
should.
Okay, I apologize.
Seriously.
My apologies to you, man.
I don't know what our friendship is. Goodness.
The show
Based on
crumbles.
lies.
G and Ursula are coming up. They have Fresh Fridays on the way.
I forgive you.
My apologies.
Yeah, you're okay.
Okay, you can always text the show, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476.
Thanks for being with us on Seattle's Morning News. Hope you have a great weekend. This is KIRO News Radio.
What's my voice sound? Pretty good?
Better than I thought it would. The John Curley Show.
I was really trying to work with my diaphragm.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I was screaming as everybody else was screaming, and all of a sudden the muscles in my neck tightened up and it shut off blood in my head. I thought I almost passed out. I was so close.
What if you died?
Well, I would have been paying no attention to me like, get up, Dad.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
When it comes to Subarus, Carter Subaru stands alone, literally. They're Seattle's only Subaru dealership with more than 700 Subarus ready to go. Looking for a Crosstrek? The 2025 Crosstrek is just 1.9% financing for 72 months. That's serious value on a great vehicle built for the Northwest. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 1/31/26.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you feel embarrassed, trapped, maybe even ashamed just because you own a timeshare? Well, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. Chuck McDowell here, the timeshare cancellation guy. I get over 3,000 complaints a week from all kinds of folks that feel the same way you do. Honest people, teachers, veterans, grandparents, all losing sleep over a timeshare they can't get rid of. That's why 15 years ago, I founded Wesley Financial Group to help people take their lives back. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we would want our own family to be treated. That mindset has helped us cancel over 50,000 timeshares from people just like you. So if you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-261-3377. 800-261-3377. 800-261-3377.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, you're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh, my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane, and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Guys, your New Year goals start now. Get limited time savings on our most popular treatments at Revive Men's Health. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to see if you qualify to save hundreds.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and